Are we up and headed? Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
How in the hell are y'all doing out there?
I think I'm currently experiencing numb tongue. We do know that certain flavors will numb your tongue. You know, anise or black licorice being the number one.
Mm-hmm.
We can now add ginger to that list.
Mm.
Ooh.
You've never been out for sushi, eat the little flakes of ginger they give you? They numb your mouth pretty quick.
Well, I didn't think it would come through that well in a vape, but I've spent a fair amount of time today working on ginger snap, and I think I've got a working version right now, and I've put it through the heating and cooling cycles, and it spent an hour in the ultrasonic with heat. And I'm going to guess by the color change that it underwent, that it's an hour in the ultrasonic with heat is going to be about equivalent to 7 days sitting on my desk.
So we're at the
good week steep.
So we're at the conclusion that the ultrasonic bath is speeding up the sleep cycle?
Well, on the coloring, I haven't done the test with pudding yet. Mm-hmm. That'll come. I've just been too busy to actually launch a real test. But it definitely is changing the color quite a bit. Like, this isn't going to come through on the camera, I don't think. This went in to the bath clear.
Okay.
And it definitely didn't come out clear.
No, it's got quite the yellowish tinge to it.
That's 1 hour in a 50-watt ultrasonic with heat. It kept it at probably about 85 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Celsius for the entire time.
Okay.
Now, hotter than a cup of coffee.
Now, with that, are we seeping anything out of the bottles we used by heating it that long?
No. To damage the bottle, we're going to have to get into that 300 Celsius range.
Well, how did the BPA thing come around? BPA being in our water bottles and whatnot, they were saying cold water could even leach it.
Over long periods of time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the BPA. I'm talking about anything, be it that it was in there for 1 hour at...
No, I think it's perfectly safe.
I'm just asking.
And it's one of those things that you know, down the road, a person can start using glass in there.
Yes. Yes, they are different bottles than the BPA bottles.
Yeah, I think BPA has pretty well been kind of put on the back burner.
It's pretty much eliminated now.
Yeah. But I mean, plastic as on its own is made from petroleum products, and that's my concern.
Well, I think it should be good. Now, I got to do the test, but I am seeing a difference. I'm seeing a difference that I didn't believe was going to be there, and I'm big enough to admit when I've been wrong.
Welcome.
And you know, I think currently that I was wrong, and that this is doing something.
Well,
so now we're going to put it through the real test.
I mean, I don't think there's a right and a wrong, Corey. I mean, we talked about it, you know, with some length about the steeping, and you were going to try one on the desk, one in hot water, one in an ultrasonic bath, and see just how the results panned out.
See,
and I'd like to make the change to all glass. But the price point is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand people are willing to pay the extra $1 to have glass. That's great.
But Aspectus makes a good point, saying that, you know, the petroleum-based products, or plastic, will consume the energy of the heat, whereas the glass will straight transfer it directly into the juice.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Now,
But
my
the price
only
point.
issue with the glass is my entry-level price point into switching to glass. You know, once a guy's rolling with it, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But it's that initial order of 2,000 bottles that would normally cost me, that would normally cost me $400 for the 2,000 bottles, is now going to cost me $2,500.
Ouch.
So where does a person come up on the first go around with that extra $2,100 that isn't being used somewhere else?
Yeah, that's a big output right off the bat.
I suppose the only way really you can do it without affecting the pocketbook too much is when you make a bottle order, you order, say, 50 or 100 glass bottles at the same time, so it's not such a hit to the pocketbook, and save them in reserve.
You gotta think how much juice you're sending out, though, right?
Yeah.
Is it gonna make it in time for the next batch, right?
And Eva's got a great point, too. It is also the extra expense of the shipping it. Because with the glass comes extra packing materials.
It does.
And the thing is, when you're buying bottles, you're buying wholesale, you have minimum order quantities to be able to get to a price point that's workable.
For sure.
It's not like, I can't just go to Flavor Fog and order the amount of bottles I need for the glass because he doesn't stock enough.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a custom order. Because I don't order 4 dozen bottles at a time. I order 2,000 bottles at a time.
Right.
Well, and I mean, with the amount of juice you pump out, it only makes sense to order in big quantities like that.
Yep. And I'd like to switch to a bottle like the standard. I'd like to switch to a fancier bottle.
Those are nice bottles.
It's a little more solid. Give people something that's nicer, top shelf stuff. But you gotta walk before you can run, and let's face it, I'm still crawling.
So, did anybody get any good vape mail this week, or any vape mail for that matter?
I might have, but I'm gonna hold off for a few minutes.
My Cartel V1 finally landed.
Ooh, let me see.
Do you envision Corey making juice in a Winnebago in the desert, Kingpin?
Desert in Saskatchewan.
What's that, Corey?
This is the Cartel V1.
Ooh, pretty.
I like it. That's really nice how it goes with the tapered cap there. I like the tapered cap. Does it meet right up with your K-Fun?
It's perfect.
Oh, nice.
And what it does is, the body is extremely thick, so it's stainless steel, but it actually carries current quite well.
And what are the contact points? Are they stainless as well?
I believe they're silver. Let's have a look here.
Downpour got a
they're not silver.
Vamo
It's either going to be
V3.
copper or brass.
Downpour got a Vamo V3, 4 Pro tanks, and a DOD. What's a DOD?
Grip on demand.
Ah. Right on, and how are you liking that?
Brass contacts.
And there's not a lot of voltage drop in it?
Very minimal. I wouldn't say that it hits as good as a brass chi, but close.
Wow.
I'll take it apart here and I'll show you how thick the body is. You should be able to pick that up on camera, how thick that...
Holy
there's some
crap.
meat there.
Do you have your micrometer around? How thick is that?
That body is 3.08 of a mil thick.
Wow.
It's a pretty serious device.
Welcome back, Dave.
And I do have, like, this is only 18,350 right now. I have the 18,650 tube on order. It's a pricey unit. Like, by the time this landed, we're looking at 260, 270 on the pull-on. And, you know, the 18,650 tube was another $50. And the shipping is going to be in between 20 and 40.
Wow.
So, like, it's no, like, all said and done, the guy's looking at $3.5 bills, if not a little bit heavier than that.
That's too
Wow.
rich.
But there's
in my blood.
200 in existence.
Oh, that's cool. So how do you like your DOD downpour? Is it working well for you? Hi, Vapor Dave.
Welcome, Dave.
That confused me for a second. There's a Vape Dave and a Vapor Dave. So I just gotta say, Corey, with the music piping through the Hangout, are you finding yourself singing along to the music?
At least head bomb, but this is one of my favorite
Yep.
songs of all
It
time
is.
right
Yep.
now. This is the foot goes to the floor. You grab another gear and fly.
Yep.
And pray you
Ride
don't
like
need a
crazy.
call.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Vape Dave, is you fast-tacked Vapor Dave.
Oh, you can't fast tech people. That's like against the rules.
No, I read the rulebook. There was not listed in the fast-tech rulebook.
I don't know about that.
Come on, England cloned a sheep.
Now you gotta wonder why they would want to clone a sheep.
Well, you know why a Scotsman wears a kill, right? Sheep can hear a zipper from 1,000 yards.
Kilt, rubber
Smoke your
boots,
sister.
and
Velcro gloves.
Velcro gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Choking on fucking Roid Rage HS.
Hi, bite.
Hey, Sabby, I sent you a Skype in group chat, buddy.
Hi, Sabby. Why are we fuckers? Sabby.
Oh, did you reply? I haven't been in there.
He said, hey, fuckers.
So, regardless that it makes my mouth go numb,
Does it taste
I
good?
just can't. Yeah, it does, and I can't stop vaping it.
That's what Roid Rage has been doing to me. It makes my whole face just it want to explode, but it tastes so good. So, and it's nice because my sinuses are a little backed up after the end of this cold, and yeah, isn't that the truth, Kingpin? And it's really helping. The Roid Rage is helping. So, I have a couple of pieces of propaganda here.
Oh, yes, we went out and we
I
found
did. I got sent out to the supermarket the other day. And I'm walking back, and I went to the customer service till, which also doubles as their cigarette sales till. And they have these kicking around. Templates for their own in-house e-cigarettes. So, well, let's take a look. So let's start with the NV. Okay, comes in a black and red and black and white picture, and the form factor's okay. Now here's what started to get my blood boiling. I'm sitting here reading it, and the wording is really what got me going. Smoke NV is the hottest and newest smoking device. It emits a completely harmless vapor, but yet still simulates your smoking sensations. It's non-flammable, electronic atomizing device, which utilizes electronic microelectric technology to atomize flavors and the contents of each disposable cartridge. The Smoke NV offers all smokers their option to satisfy their desires for cigarettes in a way which is safer while retaining the physical qualities of traditional cigarettes in a fashionable, high-tech device. The benefits: no more yellow teeth, completely harmless to yourself, the environment, and others, non-flammable, so no need to carry a lighter, has a sophisticated metro design, and looks and feels sexy in the hand. Comes in a variety of flavors for enticement for everybody, and you can enjoy all of the sensations of smoking inside without the harmful effects of carbon monoxide or other detrimental substances. So then it goes through the write-up on its disposable and now its rechargeable starter kit. And the last paragraph goes through talking about its quantity of cartridge. Each replacement Smoke NV atomized cartridge is equivalent to approximately 300 cigarettes, but also depends on your smoking habit. As cartridges are supplied in boxes of 5, this will give you the equivalent of 5 cartons of cigarettes. After the first investment of our starter kit, the Smoke NV more than pays for the investment. The initial starter kit purchase is $146. A replacement bundle of 5 cartridges is $50. It's $10 a cartridge. So I'm kind of shaking my head at this, and I come to the last page and it states some more propaganda. And this states that, and I gotta find it here. Here we go. So the pros to the Smoke NV. Overall shape, size, and color resembles a traditional cigarette. It's aesthetically pleasing. Other aesthetically pleasing models are also available. The cons to regular or generalized e-cigarettes are much larger in size, come in non-traditional shapes and colors, batteries are exceptionally dangerous and pose an explosion hazard, and are glorified flashlights. Pro.
Yeah.
Has a texture identical to a cigarette. Con to traditional e-cigarettes. Feels like a cheap piece of electronic gadgetry. Who wants this? Pro. The NV has a realistic LED in the tip that glows exactly like a cigarette. The con to traditionals, most don't come with LEDs. Pro, strong, deep breath of smoke-like vapor that resembles smoke even when exhaling. It also tastes like a real cigarette. The con, who wants flavors? The vapor in traditional e-cigarettes that you can get on the internet. The vapor created by traditional e-cigarettes found on the internet is weak and hardly noticeable, especially when you exhale. The atomizers are constantly clogging and need to be replaced almost daily. Who wants that expense? Fuck them. So,
we had a large laugh about this.
So, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to pick up the other, and this is Dune or Done or however you want to say it. This is their propaganda.
Yeah, I have to say
and the first few pages
exhale off of my traditional e-cig definitely wasn't
your flashlight, your glorified flashlight
tube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, confused on what e-cigarette vaporizer to use? Look no further. We've made it as simple as 1, 2, 3. Then we got the French. I don't speak French. Who wants to carry around bottles of e-juice or other tanks to house it? These disposable, convenient e-cigarettes for smokers on the move. Every e-cigarette is equal to 2 to 3 packs of traditional cigarettes, or our rechargeables are an equivalent to a whopping 5 to 600. Our cartomizer refills can only ever be used with our rechargeable kits. If you're looking for something long-term, perhaps it's time to speak to your doctor. Each refill pack comes with 3 cartomizers, which in total will equal 4 packs of cigarettes each. A growing variety of flavors, tobacco and regular, And formulas are available in the refill kit, so why not visit our website and get an idea of all the latest additions. Then, this is their, I don't know if you can see it, their rechargeable kit. Comes in a nice fancy pants tin that you have to pay an extra $19.99 for. Why start vaping versus smoking? Why use a rechargeable e-cigarette versus smoking? Well, with our rechargeable kit, you can really start saving money. Each kit comes with a USB charger, a cartridge atomizer refill, which is always equal to roughly 3 packs of cigarettes, and a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. No explosion risk, kids. Sorry, that was me. Rechargeable Li-ion battery. We're even going to throw in, for $19.99, a sexy metal carry case. I was so flabbergasted, I guess, about the crap that these guys are piping out to people that I didn't even bother going to their website. So if you'd like to go, one is dunecigs.ca and the other one is smokenv.com.
They're already in chat. People have been looking them up.
And really, at the end of everything you just read, I only have one thing to say. Douchebags.
Yep.
And quite honestly, I will take my glorified flashlight too. Thank you.
But you know what really got me about it is if you take a look at the actual brochures, one is, this is our product. The other one is, look how sexy this product is. And they've even got some, like, model guy in there.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the model.
Vaping away.
He definitely looks like he's over the age of 18, but he's purporting that it looks sexy. And we wonder why Health Canada is saying this is targeted advertisement. Well, that's exactly what it is. So I think I'm going to pick a couple up, send them out to all of us, and we can all see just how much better they are than our glorified flashlight tubes.
Because the vapor we exhale is non-existent.
And is there any nicotine in their product?
Mm-mm.
No. It's Justin Bieber's ballet coach.
Without the nick, what the fuck is the point?
That's just it.
They're just ensuring that the product fails. I'm certain that each of us, after a year and a half, can get to zero nick and be happy. Maybe not satisfied, but happy nonetheless. But to go from being a pack a day or 2 pack a day smoker to zero
nothing?
nick and just counting on that hand to mouth to get you through, yeah, it's not gonna work.
No.
And that's actually something I got to bring up. I mean, you brought it to my mind. Last week, Kreegz and I were having a back and forth, and the comment that I made was, "I'm not convinced," and it was pertaining to the fact that I still have a pack of cigarettes in my pickup that I haven't touched since January, and I said I'm not. Whatever he said, it said I'm still not convinced. It wasn't that I'm not convinced that vaping has definitely changed my life. I'm not convinced I have the willpower to not go back to the cigarettes. That's what I meant by the comment.
I am wholeheartedly convinced and will never go back.
I certainly don't plan to go back, but if my favorite juice dries up, or what am I to do?
Well, and see, Sabby, that's what I did. I started with one of those over-marketed kits, a V2 Cigs kit, and then I went looking for something better, and that's the way it went. And maybe half the people that buy that kit will go that direction. The other half are going to throw that kit in the garbage and go buy another carton of cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if they would just do due diligence and put out a product that worked with a juice that worked, they'd still get their initial purchase. They might even get some follow-through business, but then people have a fighting chance of making this work for them.
Yep. Tattooed One Hun was wondering.
Yeah, I know. I saw. I put my finger up 1 second till Corey was done. Right here, I'm vaping on an EVOD and my MVP. And My other one that I'm vaping on is a PAPS and my K-Fun.
And I'm rocking K-Fun on a model I'll talk about later. And a iGo Dripper on my Polyak with a funky clear skull drip tip that my mother-in-law picked up for me.
Yeah, I love my skin for my MVP. It's awesome.
And tonight I have 4 Chi-Yus on the go, and an Evian, and a Zencardo Hybrid, and Astro, and Cartel, and Paps, Lux, 2 Poldiaks, and 134.
I promise people he doesn't have a mod problem at all.
And that. I'll stay with that until somebody asks a question about something I have under the desk. Then we'll keep adding to that list for the night.
KP Swillpup spoils me and Zai, but more so me rotten. If I could go through each one of my vaping collection of juices and atomizers and mods, I would say roughly 60% of them are directly from Swillpup. And there's no amount of thanks in this world that's ever going to be enough.
Yeah, Mummy rocks. And I got my drink, by the way. It's in a cup and everything, just for you. Bitch.
If I had to start going through the juice collection, we would still be here going through it. Oh, probably this time next week.
I have 3 very large boxes of juice. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's in them.
I have Rubbermaid totes.
I need to settle something with you, Corey.
No problem.
I was over at Kreegz house last night. Now, sadly, he's not here to defend himself yet. But this is my bottle of juice. It's a 60 ml bottle.
Oh, are we gonna talk about Danger Low? Seriously?
Is that Danger Close right there, Corey?
Yeah.
It's not Danger Close when your fucking juice man lives 3 minutes away.
Agreed.
Yeah, you both got a point. I cracked the last 140 ml bottle that I've got pre-mixed, and I'm in stress mode.
See, I get that way when I get down to my last 60
how can you get like
mil.
that? You are your own juice man. How does that work?
But I'm a lazy fucker. And
But the thing is, though,
the last one, that means I won't have the juice squeeze when I need it.
I counted on Thursday and on Friday how much I vaped at work. Now, my K-Fun holds roughly 4.5 mils of juice. Let's call it 4.1 or 4 for the sake of a number in math. I filled it 5 times in the truck and 1 more time on my way home. So a total of 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. And that was before I even went to bed. I had to fill it in the morning, Friday morning when I went to work. So 30 mils of juice, that's a day and a wake up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't go through it that fast.
I'm gonna say that since 4 o'clock, when I started testing the different mixes of the ginger snap, I am down. Let's go 23 milliliters since 4 o'clock.
Wow.
But you also Jenny Vape, which is a little bit harder.
I'm only dripping it.
Only
I'm
dripping?
running it all through. I'm only dripping. I'm running it through a Nimbus, dual coil, 0.5 ohm on a Poldia.
It just doesn't last too long around here either.
Yeah, juice does not last long around here. And good to see you, Holly. I sent you a Skype a while ago, but I never got an answer, so I'll get you in chat. Is there someone I can talk to get a civilian tour of the base. My kid wants to go on the base really, really bad. Yes, we did, Mom.
Yep. It's already in. Like I said, you should have it in your hot little hands by next Friday. With fucking Clicky McClickerson and all.
I really, Holly, I don't know. I think he just wants to go on the base, see the, the base vehicles and army people. Because we live in the old Greasebach barrack area, and he sees some of the military people here that reside here, and he just gets himself worked into a panic. He wants to go see it. He's 8 years old, and currently he wants to be an army guy when he grows up.
Well, the thing is, KP, with the next one that ships out, which will be this week too, look at how beautifully steep that sugar cookie is for you, brother.
Wow.
Absolutely perfect. It doesn't get better than that, and that's going to KP.
Ooh.
I think that's a good idea too, Kingpin. He could pull this over and go, uh-oh. Gotta arrest a little one.
Oh my goodness,
but with initial testing, done on the ultrasonic, we are looking at doing a commercial unit. And once the commercial comes in, everything that ships for me will go through the ultrasonic through at least 2 cycles.
Really?
Which should start at at least 7 days advanced.
Nice. Navcom said is sugar cookie available to public yet?
It really isn't. When the next batch of flavorings land this week, they're in Canada. They've cleared customs. Now they just got to get from BC to me. I will make it available through me to whoever wants it. And it will end up being available through, Redox and River City and CEV Store. But it will be out there by next Friday. It will be available, to the masses.
Well, that's good news.
I like that news, considering I ripped through my bottle pretty fucking quick. I'm doing the best I ever did.
Hey, Corey, I have a question.
Yep.
When I first started vaping, there was a juice flavoring that you had said mixes at half. You mix it at half because it's double flavor. Or was it that it was less flavor and you mix it double? I can't remember. And I think it was Flavor Art flavorings.
Well, Flavor Art is an extremely strong flavoring, and we typically do not use Flavor Art above 5%.
Okay.
Typically, a Flavor Art flavor gets used in between 2.5% and 5%.
Okay.
And all Flavor Art flavorings require 1 month of steeping. That's the way they're designed.
Okay. So would that be the reason why a lot of my Flavor Art flavorings are florally?
Yeah, because I don't
Like
get
a lot
floral
of the
on any
fruits. If I mix them. Yeah, I don't know. It just comes out very florally.
What percentages are you working at?
Not much. Over 5, I think 6. There's a couple of them.
6 total or 6 per flavor?
6 per flavor. So is it 6
we're talking,
all of Flavor
We're
Art?
talking if you're doing a Flavor Art juice, your total mix ratio at the end of it is 5%.
Holy shit! Okay.
Yeah, it's strong, but it requires time to steep. Like there's the glitch. You know, with if you're using any other flavoring, it needs to steep, but it's good day one. Flavor mixed at 5%, day one is going to taste very, very weak. You're going to have flavor. It's not going to be bad, but it's going to be weak. But it takes time for it to mature and come out and play properly.
Okay.
And a month in, it's right.
Would an ultrasonic gas help it?
I expect it will.
Okay.
You know, we're going to do, as I have time, we're going to do a lot of testing with the ultrasonic, because, you know, the first ultrasonic I bought was under $40. It did 50 watts and a heater. I was very happy with it. The next step is in between $400 to $800.
Wow.
And so I want to be very sure of what I'm doing before I make that jump.
Right.
Good night, Eva.
Night, Eva.
Now, the one I am looking at can do 4 gallons at a time.
Wow.
It's big enough to hold 4 1-gallon jugs at a time. That's
so
still its job.
I had a thought, Corey, and it's a thought. That's all it is, so don't flame me for it. Could you speed steep in a pressure cooker?
I think we'd only end up cooking it. So I think all that's happening is the heat is helping you with the viscosity of the liquid. But is
it not exciting the flavor molecules to start bouncing around in there?
I don't know. I think why the ultrasonic is working is because it is creating a standing wave pattern and mixing at a level that we just can't by shaking it.
Right.
And I would be scared to use UV light. Like, I protect my juice from any UV source, because UV attacks the nicotine.
Right.
It's not like it helps it age properly; it attacks it. So I don't know if that's really where we want to go.
Yeah. See, even when I steep my juice, I always keep it away from the sunlight and everything. Because I find even juice that does.
Go ahead.
Even when I have juice that does sit in the sun purely by accident, I've had a couple of bottles in the old place that fell off of Jeff's table and actually fell down between the porch doors. So they got direct sunlight, and they got so dark, but the flavor didn't seem to change. It got more, I don't know, just gunky tasting.
Yeah, very muddy.
Yeah.
Oh, hearing this makes me excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, I try to protect from light as much as possible. Now, perfect world, our juice would all be in dark glass, and we wouldn't have to worry about the light at all. That's just currently not a reality, at least for me. It's almost like definitely something that's being thought about and figured out how we can do it properly.
You know, it's almost like reading our juice is almost like reading the directions on the hydrogen peroxide container. Store away from light, heat, and in a cool, dark place.
Yes, I could definitely see that happening to something becoming black and syrupy, because the juice that fell into the door and was in direct sunlight, it was just horrible.
Oh, for sure, Sabby. But no, I'm quite excited with what we've seen so far with the ultrasonic, and with the juice lab going into construction in the basement. Like I'm fully planning on a large unit being installed in there, and then we'll play from there, and maybe add a microwave or a couple of microwaves into the juice room as well.
Oh, wow. My K-Fun is empty. Fill it back up with some strawberry kiwi.
Now that question I really don't know, asbestos or spectus. Now, most of the time, I date the bottle of juice. I leave it sit on the desk. I test it, for 3 weeks or a month. And when I find the absolute perfect spread, when the flavor plays the absolute best, I write the number of days onto the recipe. So that right on my recipe, I know this juice needs 21 days, or 27 days, or 13 days, or whatever the case may be. And so I've got a pretty good reference point. And, there's general rules of thumb. The higher the citrus level, the lower the steep time that's going to be required. The higher the vanilla or tobacco content, the longer the steep time is going to be. A vanilla custard being the longest steep time of any of them. Chocolate. Chocolate tends to do best after 21 days.
I can see that.
It just needs more time to reach its fullness. Like a strawberry, blueberry, any of those sweeter berries, 10 days. That's all it needs is 10 days, and it's good. And I don't think you'll see much change after 14. After 14, I think it's pretty much done its cycle, and it's going to darken as the nic oxidizes, but as far as flavor goes, it's pretty much achieved its final flavor. Except anything flavored. 31 days.
Right. So, in a no-nic juice, does it steep differently? Because it doesn't get that oxidization from the nic, right?
Right. And so a no-nic juice is a different animal. It's still going to benefit from the time, but it's one of those things that maybe one pass through the ultrasonic will be enough. See, because you still need full blend. And that's also what the time does, is it breaks down the molecules and it does a complete blend.
Lets them get all happy in the bottle.
There's more that goes on than just nic oxidizing and the chemical transformation between nic and flavor.
Right.
And I am no chemist. I am no chemist at all. All I have is experience on my side. Right. But it changes, but it doesn't change anywhere near as much as a nic juice does. Like, nic juice changes drastically. No nic changes a little bit.
Okay. No, I was just asking.
If you're going to use a flavoring like Flavor Art with no nic, you are still looking at time invested because the flavoring itself doesn't release fast.
Okay.
The flavoring takes the 30 days to break down.
Okay. My neck went dark orange.
I'm not a pastry fan either. I'm just not a Swedish pastry fan.
Nor am I. What?
Wow, black almost.
Now, asbestos.
Did you read that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading that right now.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to the lady, seeing I am DSV. Because I can guarantee you, I've never made that statement before.
Yeah, that's right out of left field. That is.
Yeah, I'll make no nick for anybody. I don't care. People get what they want.
Yeah, why would you say, "Oh no, I won't make it no nick"? That doesn't even make sense. And I could never see something like that coming out of your mouth. No, sorry, a vapor doesn't actually vape nick. All right, I'm not going to make juice for them.
In my world, if everyone went no nick, my world gets better.
Yep.
Because nick is the most expensive part of the juice. So if you're able to find people that are willing to buy it without the nicotine in it, first off, Health Canada can go fuck themselves.
Yep.
Because without nick, it is just a consumer product,
yep.
regardless of what they want to say. And we can, drop the price, raise the availability, and production can go into hyperdrive. So no nick is a good thing for a juice maker, not a bad thing. And we can even mimic the throat hit now. We can still give you a zero nick juice with a throat hit.
You just raise the PG, don't you?
You can raise the PG. You can add flash from Flavor Art. You can add absolute vodka. That creates a really wild throat hit. No, Savvy, we're not talking about yours.
Savvy, are you talking about me? No, we're not talking about you.
No, I don't make zero nick unless somebody asks for it. Because it's not popular.
But that's not to say that if somebody were to say, "Hey, Corey, I'd like a no-nick juice," you wouldn't go, "Oh, no, sorry, I only make nick juice."
No, fine, here's the price, let's go.
Yeah.
It makes no difference to me. It makes no difference to me whether they want zero nick or they want 24 milligram. People get what they ask for.
What the fuck over?
What are you what the fuck overing now?
Polganic's being mean to me again.
Did you get it firing again?
Yeah. No, it doesn't want to cooperate.
The last vape mate who never smoked a day in his life and went into vaping zero nick to like vaping flavors. A lot of people are like that, Jeff. A lot of people. I've met a lot of people on my vaping travels that never smoked. They just really enjoy the flavor.
Aspectus, can I have a link for that site?
Yeah, I'm curious to check it out.
I'm very interested to see that.
Because I'm pretty sure I know of everyone who sells your juice.
Oh no, I don't even know everyone that sells it.
Well, this person's got to be, I don't know, new? I've not.
So I got some good news today. I was told my my Fluid present left BC this weekend.
Well, I just want to know who's selling my juice.
Because they're doing it without permission.
Well, if it's a plain white label, the odds are my juice got ripped off.
Yep.
which means all it really got ripped off is my name.
Oh, I can't wait, Tiger. I don't know if you heard the story, Tiger. I was home on Wednesday when the mailman came, and I opened the door. And I looked at him and went, "Got fluid?" He looked at me like I had 3 heads and 9 eyes.
Yeah, that was comical.
Yeah, that's what I figured, Sabby. As soon as I heard an enamel, I know you got that one covered. Yeah, there's a lot of outfits reselling on my name. A lot of them. You can use the blow dryer to speed it up, Zippy.
By the gallon. No worries, Tiger. And what do you mean lately? All it does is rain down there. That's why I left.
You need webbed feet to live down there.
I finally got rid of the webs between my toes.
The torch will work, Zip, but the moment it goes dry, it's going to catch fire. So there is the problem inherent with a torch and cotton.
The wet season just started. Fraser Valley has 2 seasons, rain and road construction in the rain.
Yeah, they've got 9 of your flavors up on their site, Corey.
No, they get their juice from CEV store. It's all good.
Ah,
as soon as we knew the name, they get their juice right from CEV. It's all good.
Ah.
And coming from CEV doesn't do zero nick yet. It's a progression. Zero nick to do right is more work than to do a nick juice properly, because we have to mimic the throat hit, which we can do, but there's a process involved in getting it right.
I will be right back.
There's a little bit of banging going on. Oh. So I gotta say, Corey, I've been giving her a fair run. I still don't take it to work, even though the pants and shirt protect it. But I'm more than impressed with the Poldiak. I'm super happy with it.
As long as a person can get used to that side button, I'm pretty sure it would become their favorite device. As long as you can get used to that button position, everything about it is solid. It's got clean lines, it's pretty, it feels good in the hand, it hits like a freight train, it's easy to maintain, everything's adjustable. And as long as you're not pouring juice down inside of it, it's really, really easy to maintain.
Yeah, I don't like occasionally the top cap gets just a little moist from, like a little bit of leak out of the air hole or something, but I just wipe it up real quick. And I'm really happy with it. I don't take it to work, and I find myself driving down the road looking for my fucking side button all the time when it's a bottom button I'm using. But yeah, I mean, other than that, the button transition isn't bad.
Now, just to address chat, some people enjoy zero nic due to the fact that they weren't smokers before and are just in it for the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there are vapors that have gone down from nic to no nic. And I'm not sure about that, Tiger, but like Holly said, his wife was not in it for a throat hit, just the flavor.
And it becomes hard to guess.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody tells you they want 18 milligram, you know they want the throat hit.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, you know, you work with that. If they want 0, are they looking for the flavor? You know, have they taken this up as a hobby? You know, are they, you know, step down? They've made their final step down.
That's it.
Are they the type of person? I know several people that did stop smoking, vaping 0 nic, but they were the type that it was about the hand to mouth. It was about the keeping busy.
Mm-hmm.
And there really never was an addiction. It was that they had to be doing something.
Yeah, and I mean,
And
that's why I say 0 nic is different for everyone who wants 0 nic. They have a different reason,
Yep.
different purpose for it.
And so
it's
how
no
many
different
0 nics do you put out?
that have flash.
Yeah, or don't have flash, or don't have vodka added to it, or don't, like, I don't know. It becomes, the whole thing becomes confused. Which is why, for myself, I do not produce 0. I make it on demand.
Yeah.
You know, you tell me what you want.
At that point,
I make
you know. You know whether
Right.
they want it for the throat hit or just for the flavor or whatever the case may be, right?
It's 'cause they're pussies.
That's right. Welcome, buddy.
Why can't I see your video in Hangout?
I'm not sure
Because he
why
keeps
that
down.
is. No, it's
Broke
not.
it,
It's
sir.
I don't know.
Don't make him adjust it.
Well,
He'll break
just-
the
Hold on, I
interwebs.
might break the webs just for a second. Oh yeah, see?
I
Broken
see
it.
everybody sitting here going, "Hi, Kreegz, hi, Kreegz," and I'm like, I don't see Kreegz. You people are all whacked. What's up?
Google requires access to your computer.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Does this shirt have like a picture of an elf or something, KP?
No, he's got the Joke Smoke shirt on this time.
Ah.
With a midget girl vaping it.
Oh dear lord.
And it says Zai Stumpy.
Fuck you all. Okay,
Yeah.
Kreegers, I've been dying for like 45 minutes.
Oh, what the idea? Have you spilled any
Yeah.
beans yet?
No, there's been no bean spillage
No
whatsoever.
beans have been spilt in the making of the first hour of
None.
this show.
None at all.
Okay, so
But I would like to know the idea.
scavenger hunt, internet style,
How fucking awesome is that?
right?
been a while since we've seen that done.
We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to plan it up tomorrow, but we should announce it tonight, I think.
Yes. Come back next week, kids, because next week will be your first clue in the scavenger hunt around the internet. What are you playing for? Tell them, Bob.
I don't know. What are we playing for?
We're playing for 2 coffin mods.
Oh, right. Haha, I remember now.
You are playing for one of these.
We are playing for 2. Count them 2.
Coffin
Coffin
mods.
mods.
Okay.
1 blue and 1 red.
Geocaching internet style, yes.
You bet.
How this is gonna work, how the clues are gonna work, this all came to me like literally 45 minutes ago when Zai's like, what contest are we doing? I'm like, fuck if I know what kind of contest we're doing.
How are we doing this contest? We knew we were giving them away, but we needed to know how we were going to do it. And we didn't want to do it all random number style. That's boring.
So, we shall give clues. This is not going to be a wham bam, thank you ma'am type situation.
No, we're going to make you work for it.
This is going to go a couple of weeks. Maybe a couple of clues a show or something. Like I said, all the details we will work out between now and this time next week.
And then we'll finish it off with Sabby doing a wet t-shirt contest.
Nice.
I would win that in a heartbeat. A wet t-shirt contest? Mine. All me.
I don't know. I got
See?
your own contest.
Even fucking Holly agrees that I would
I've
win
got
that
some
contest.
impressive moves though, man.
Because you haven't seen my moves. They're beautiful. They're fucking gorgeous. Some days I call in sick to work just to look at them in the mirror.
Okay, I'm not that vain. I just stand in front of the mirror and look at them before I go to bed. Kiss each one of them goodnight.
Okay,
I just play
so
with the old ladies till I get slapped.
if anyone is interested in the giveaways of a blue coffin mod and a red coffin mod, make sure you tune in and keep up to date on clues and whatnot.
Yeah, we're gonna. We should put clues throughout Facebook and stuff too. All this
Yes.
could be fantastically awesome.
Yes.
And we may sweeten the pot as time goes. I'm sure I'm sure I could convince some people to join into the I don't know, the
Find a
festivities.
different mod every...
I think
Oh,
so.
who
I
knows
think we
what?
could find a few people to come out and play our games.
That would be tons of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Reindeer games. Who doesn't like playing reindeer
Yay.
games, right?
Jingle bells,
Now,
Batman.
are we looking to sweeten the pot?
Well, I think so.
Maybe we
pot
might.
season is always-
Why? What you thinking over there, amigo?
I'm thinking 140 mils of Delight and 140 mils of Sugar Cookie to go with each of the mods.
Ooh.
Right on.
Who doesn't
That
like a
is
quarter
a
liter of
sweet spot.
juice, right? Who doesn't like a quarter liter of juice?
Absolutely.
You know what? Even if it's terrible juice, a quarter liter, that's awesome. That's perfect.
It's a lot of juice.
Don't get me wrong, I was not implying that the
This
juice
ain't
you're
no
offering up is
decaying
terrible
bullshit.
juice. But there will be a free 30ml bottle of fucking Zero Nick hot dog juice as well. Let's add that to the pot.
And a
Flash is optional.
First prize.
and a free green drip tip that was used
Oh.
to vape gas station coffee, slightly expired milk, and all the other gross druggies flavors, and was up my nose.
Yes.
Let's not forget that part.
Yep.
I threw-
Everybody's in.
Oh, see 2 Tons of Fun is taking over the Saturday night show because I'm about to say I just threw away my IGOs from that 5 weeks.
So did I.
They're garbage.
I sent mine to Slodium.
I sent the octopus to Panda because I destroyed far too many atomizers for that experiment. Just for the record.
I used
That's because you just kept rebuilding different ones.
I used Zai's iGo for the whole deal, and I sent
Yep.
it off to Solo. Now I gotta buy a fucking iGo.
Good, get an IGO W. They're better than the S's anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuckers.
Big fan of the
Ruined all of
W.
my shit.
Hell, just
I will
get.
have you know he ruined nothing of his own, my IGO, and my drip tips.
Oh,
Nothing.
Muffin. Don't hate.
You
Celebrate.
didn't get to see
I'm
the
a-
truck stop cop. Oh god, it was horrible, Holly.
I'm a big fan of the
Wait.
IGO W, but the Chimbus or Nimbus definitely rates higher in
Yeah,
my books. than the IGO W.
that's next on my list. That's a fast tech thing, isn't it?
I don't know if anybody
Yeah,
caught that.
or E-cig Vapes carries them.
I don't know.
E-cig Vapes carries the Chimbus.
Oh, like
I don't
the
know if
genuine
anybody caught
Chimbus.
Chat.
Hmm.
No, they carry the Nimbus. as
100
well as
mils.
the
The 100
Chimbus.
mils.
Now I'm going to shut up and let Amy talk.
Seth threw in 100 mils of major vapes
Ooh.
for our geocache.
So the winners will get either a red or a blue coffin mod, 140 mils of Delight, 140 mils of Sugar Cookie, and 100 mils of major vapes.
That's a good pot.
They better be some damn hard questions.
Oh, it's gonna be multiple part questions. Like this is a scavenger hunt. Like the prize is until the end, and to get to the end, you need to find the first clue. To get to the second clue, you have had to find the first clue, etc., etc. Yeah, this is not gonna be.
This is not easy peasy.
No, your Google Foo and Wikipedia surfability must be very good in this.
You
'Cause
know
the-
the KP's going to hire a staff to win.
I'm excited. I'm
The really hard
excited.
vape
I'm so
contest,
happy
yeah.
that it's not a random number
No,
generator.
they're gonna work for it.
The near impossible vape contest.
Personal, your foo is absolutely strong. I will give you that. But I know how strong your foo is, so I am going to have to be keeping that in account as I'm googling / Wikipediaing / YouTubing /
That we've got some master Googlers here, so yeah, it definitely needs to. We need to step up our game.
Yeah. Like, I'm thinking, like, make you guys watch, like, a 26-minute YouTube video for some piece of information that's available at the 25-minute mark or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know. It could be at, like, the 4-minute mark.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And it could be the tiniest fucking thing.
It'll be like torturous. It's like, we'll make you watch reviews by toddlers.
Oh.
No, it's going to be questions like, what color socks was Lars Ulrich wearing when Dave Mustaine quit the band while vomiting from a heroin overdose?
That was on Final Jeopardy last night.
I totally know the answer to that question.
Purple with pink spots. That would totally be Lars's style, too.
Okay,
I like
so
the idea. I like the concept of the thing. And let's see how it works out with the coffins and the juice. And maybe next time around we can raise the game and throw a nice original mech into the mix.
Oh.
Yeah, this will be. Yeah, this is gonna be the first. This will be our month-long extravaganza. Let's go with that. So we have 4 weeks to give away all these clues, and it'll work out perfectly. It's essentially find Waldo in a weird kind of way. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
and the
awesome.
day that we do the giveaway is the day we launch the next one.
I'm
Yep.
down with that.
I like
this can
that.
definitely be our thing.
There you go. Tiger wants to know if it's a DSV mech.
I don't know. I'm thinking something along the lines of, you know, a low number Astro, or maybe a real Sentinel or an M16.
I just got to say right now, though, Corey, if the Destroyer goes up, I'm quitting the show to play the game. Just
I'm
like
not
that.
giving away the Destroyer.
Okay, well then you don't have to worry about me quitting the show and playing the game.
I won't give away a
Hey,
Destroyer.
hey.
I won't give away a Poldiak. That shit just ain't gonna happen.
That shit ain't right.
Nothing, Pixie. Carry on. You're cute.
So we talked about Corey's vape mail.
Yes, your vape mail.
I got some vape mail, and I'm gonna do a side by side because I got the other. I got a clone, and I've got the real deal here. So, take my atomizer off of here. Got myself the Nemesis clone, and beside it is the Nemesis, the real deal Nemesis.
Hold on, let's.
Which one?
Hold on.
Mhm.
Okay, so one of them is a Califan edition, and one of them is a Vapor Wall edition.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm not working on the editions part though. So first up is the side-by-side comparison. They both look identical.
Hey, Ghost.
Really, the little Nemesis logo is identical in most respects. Image.
Bye, Holly. Have a great night.
Night, Hall.
The one on the real Nemesis is a little bit lighter in color and texture, whereas the clone is definitely darker, noticeably darker.
Would that have to do with the finish, though? I wonder.
It could.
I mean, if
It
like
also seems that the emblem on the original has been laser punched into the metal, whereas the one on the clone, you can definitely feel that it's been powder coat temporary tattooed onto the metal. Same with the numbers. The numbers on the clone, back it up a little bit, are dark. The numbers on the real deal are not so dark. They're quite light, unless you catch it in the right light. They both have batteries in them, both running an 18650 now, just for comparison's sake. The real one is heavier by probably an ounce or so.
Oh, hold on a second, G-Money. Tiger says that the clone has laser burn, and if you polish it very lightly with Autosol or Mothers, it cleans up very nicely and gets sharper.
Okay. I will try that. I'll definitely try that. On the real Nemesis, the top cap has a noticeable edge when you rub your finger on it. You know that there's an edge there. On the clone, it's a rounded edge, almost beveled. But on the real one, it's opposite. The button is a nice rounded edge, whereas it's a very sharp edge button on the clone. The buttons are virtually identical. Again, the clone is slightly darker. The real one, I can't catch my thumb nail in the seam. On the clone, I don't know if you can hear that. I can catch my thumbnail in that seam. Here's the nitty gritty. The button on the clone, noticeably clicking. It's a loud ass button. On the real Nemi, nice and quiet, very smooth. The button on the clone is chunky, really chunky.
Is that the spring?
I don't know so much if it's the spring or just the way it threads. It's got almost identical threading on the button.
What would the threads have to do with the chunkiness of it, though? Like, that's just how it attaches to the device.
Agreed, but I think it's just the way that they're laid on the Delrin. Because when you push the button on the clone, that's what seems to be the brass of the thread seems to be what is making noise. It's contacting the bottom of the button. The screw in the bottom of the switch is completely different. It's got a little divot in it and then nice little grooves for gripping. The button in the real deal is...
KP says it's the tolerances. The tolerances of what, dude? I don't understand. I want to understand this.
The throw of the switch. The throw of the switch on the clone is a lot more throw.
Okay.
The button or the switch on the real one has a little divot and very, very small grippy deals to twist it. Knurling. That's what I'm looking for.
Grippy deals. Now you're talking like I do.
I know, right? And I just about put the real button on the clone. And the Delrin is... on the real one is, I don't know. It's a little bit taller on the real one than it is on the clone.
I wonder if it's something is binding or clicking generally because something is binding a tolerance problem. Something is binding. See, this is the part of mechs that I just don't get at all.
You only have 3 problems, man.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Okay. Then which one's fucked up, Motorhead? Is it fucking the air, the fuel, or the spark when there's a clicking noise?
Hi, Joe Pam.
No, but it's working.
I just tried the real switch in the clone, and it's butter smooth in the clone. Just like it is in the real one.
I think it's got something to do with the locking ring on the clone versus the locking ring on the...
Why would the locking ring come into play on this?
Well, because the locking ring sits, like, right there on the switch. Yeah. And if you just keep turning it, on the clone, if you just keep turning the locking ring, it'll undo the whole switch from the bottom of the mod.
It catches on it won't stop at the switch. It catches inside the switch and it'll take the switch off.
I'm confused by how the clicking of the switch has anything to do
No, the clicking in the switch has nothing to do with the locking ring. It's just the way it's built. It could very well could be spring. It very well could be just
Tiger. If you're
could just be an edge that's catching two and releasing, just so minutely, an edge catching and releasing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiger, if you have a locking ring that binds, I found, and actually this is the only good part of Grim Green's fucking review of the Nemesis, if you grab onto that locking ring too tight, it won't spin. You gotta just gently, like a golden cack, spin that thing.
When the button's in on the Nemesis and it's properly tightened, there's no play side to side in the button on the real one. On the clone, there is a lot. There's probably half a mil, maybe more, of side to side play, like twisting play in the button itself. But other than that, now let's do the side by side.
Now that we've said all of that, let's talk about prices of one versus the other.
Oh well, I mean, there's no comparison. There's no comparison as far as pricing. You've got one that's what I think $20 and change shipped, or $200 shipped.
I think it's 26.
Can you live with sharper edges on the top? Yeah, because your device has an atomizer on it. You don't notice it. Can you live with a sharper edge on the bottom? Yeah,
Of course, Tiger knows that it was $29.08. Not that it was $30, but that it was $29.08.
That's right.
Because that extra 92 cents, that makes a difference.
That's it.
Well, the 92 cents is the difference between a clicky button and a non-clicky button. If they actually charged 30, our button wouldn't click.
There you go.
But you pull the button apart, deburr it, and the odds are it's not going to click anymore either.
There you go.
Did you order one of these, Cora?
No, I didn't, because I didn't like the 10 days till it shipped, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to get the King mod, and I'm going to get the Nemesis clone. I'm really hoping that I can get a deal swung here shortly to get a brass Nemi. The offer has been put into my court. Now I just have to find the right item to trade the guy for it. And I think we're both going to end up quite happy. And I'm going to end up with a brass Nemi.
Ooh.
You like the brass ones, hey?
Fucking rights, they hit harder.
He likes brass mods. So
I don't like the texture, or sorry, not the texture. That's a wrong statement. I don't like the look, the aesthetics of brass.
I like brass. It's pretty.
So being that you've seen the outside and you've gone through the goods and the bads and the pricing, how does it vape? Does it vape any differently, being that it is a mechanical mod and it is just pieces?
There is some, I wouldn't say horribly noticeable voltage drop in the clone, but there is some. It's nothing I couldn't live with. I mean, it's really minute. I haven't done it.
Is it something that you would be totally unsatisfied with, being that you didn't have a real Nemi? If you were just an average person going out and buying the Nemi clone, would you be dissatisfied with it?
No. Am I? And here's my start of the argument from last week. Is it cost point? I mean, $200 versus $30. It's a $30 mod.
It's a pretty fucking fantastic $30 mod.
That's
Agreed.
what I'm saying.
I am really happy with it. I took it to work with me the other day. It performed wonderfully, other than my switch kept coming apart. But if I had to give it on a 1 to 10 scale, the Smokeater 1 to 10 scale, obviously.
Oh, this sounds authoritative.
Yeah.
We have a you just gave yourself your own fucking rating meter. Damn.
That's right. The clone.
And you get one of these.
Yeah. We're gonna have to get a graphic for next week. The fucking Smokeater fucking scale. 3 kernels of popcorn out of 5, Bob.
The clone gets a solid 9.
Oh, that's a good rating.
And the only reason that the clone does not get the 10 on the Smokeater 1 to 10 scale is the clone cannot double his currency.
Ah, I see.
It's a solid mod.
I need to see your whole evaluation card. So currency in the open market is considered part of your criteria of a mod?
No, but my point on the Nemesis or the Poldiak, because now I hear there's a Poldiak clone out there, and I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful clone, and somebody's going to be super through the roof happy with it because they've got one that looks, acts, and is built the same as the real deal Poldiak, and they paid $30 for it, not a couple of hundred. But
see, and that's where you get me. The built the same. I highly disagree with that.
Well, no, I mean essentially it's a mechanical. So essentially it's a tube with a bottom cap, a switch, and a top cap.
It has the same essential parts, but not near to
a
the
350
same
built by
standard.
the Chevy and a 350 built by me and Corey is still a 350.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, see, exactly. It's still the same thing. But can I put
will
the
throw
clone?
shit at you.
Can I put the Nemesis clone on Mod Trader and expect anything other than a kick in the balls?
No.
No. Can I put the real one on Mod Trader and expect something for it? Absolutely. That's why I say it doubles as currency.
Now, in your rating system, are you giving the real Nemi a 10?
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm giving
if
the
you were
clone
to-
a solid 9.
So if you were to compare your 10 for the Nemi
Mm-hmm.
to the Poldiak, say I use a rating system as well, but the brass Poldiak is number 10 for me.
I'll
It's
give you
the best
that.
device
I mean, if we're comparing high-end mods to high-end mods, so authentic Nemesis to authentic Poldiak, the Poldiak's a 10, and the Nemesis would be probably an 8.5.
Oh, this rating
and so
system
I
is
use
just
that-
you've lost all credibility. Now I don't understand. I don't know what's going on
I say
here.
the Poldiak is a 10 is number one. There's almost no voltage drop. Secondly, and I'm stripping my Poldiak here.
KP gave up on you.
Yeah, well, KP's a Leafs fan. Can't expect much from him.
Says the Canucks fan.
Poldiak. The Poldiak, I can take the pants and the shirt off. So if I dink it up, drop it on the cement outside, I toss it out the door of my truck, it's not going to be permanently
Okay, wait.
scarred.
Shut up. Listen. Downpour totally make a kick-ass point. 1 million ways to bake a cake. It doesn't mean it tastes the same.
Agreed.
Okay.
But the reason why the Poldiak gets the 10 over the authentic Nemesis is because if I bang it up, which I do, I can just take the pants off, put a new set on, and I've got a brand new Poldiak again.
No,
It
I'm
looks
talking.
brand new again.
No, I'm talking about when you said it's made the same. The clone to the Nemi. It's made the same.
Essentially.
Downpour makes a killer point. Million ways to bake a cake. It doesn't mean they taste the same.
Sure, the clone of the Nemesis has some downfalls that I don't like. You can feel the seam between the two tubes.
Okay, so now I'm going to kill you on your fucking rating system, because how does a Poldiak
Right.
get a 10?
See,
and
KP
a real
just said it,
Nemi
you're-
get an
you're-
8.5 and
you're-
a clone
You get a
gets
9.
Because I'm comparing
How
a
does that work?
high-end authentic Nemesis
Bullshit.
to a high-end authentic Poldiak. If I was comparing the Poldiak to the clone of Nemi, then the clone of Nemi would be a fucking out of the game because it's not even the same ballpark.
Yeah, this is
The fucking
craziness.
minor league
We need
and pro.
You need to
Your scale sucks.
you need to rethink your whole rating system because it has
Big
flaws
time.
everywhere, man.
Everywhere. Your credibility just went down the toilet.
No, your
There's no-
credibility
there's no
didn't. Just your rating
How
scale
is the
did.
credibility okay, so I'll give you the fact that my 1 to 10 went down the toilet. My credibility didn't go down the toilet.
No, your
Okay.
credibility
It's
didn't.
comparing
You're-
oranges to grapefruit.
you're-
They're not the same fucking.
No, you got muted.
Fucker.
I'm glad it wasn't me this time.
Okay, so I don't have a Poldiak, and I'm gonna be test driving one hopefully tomorrow.
You know where I live.
But you guys say that is the pinnacle of mods.
I agree.
Corey agreed, right? What does the room think about that statement?
Performance-wise, it's the pinnacle.
Okay, so with that being said, all mods, clones or otherwise, need to be judged based as
Fine.
Based as because a clone doesn't. Isn't even
can
in the
I
same
finish?
hockey arena
You just
as
got
the
to talk for 26 minutes. Let me say something, motherfucker.
26 minutes. You can't count that high.
Yes, I can. I went to college.
So did I, but that doesn't mean much.
It means you no, not much, but it means you can count to 26. Of this, I'm sure.
26.
There you go. See. So what I'm saying is that if the Poldiak is the pinnacle, then that is your number 10. So everything needs to be measured against that at base,
Yes.
even clone or authentic. Now, once you base it against that, then you can, because price has to factor in. So I don't even think you can even call a Poldiak a 10 unless its price point is perfect. Like a 10 is the best, like the best price, the best function, the best engineering, the best everything. You can't just go throwing around 10s willy-nilly.
Hold on a second. Corey and I, we share the same brainwaves here. So Corey, I need your input. Of vehicles with 4 wheels, what's the cream of the crop out there?
Why do we
JP has a great
always
idea.
go to cars?
Because I'm getting to the point. Hold on. What's the cream of the crop on 4 wheels out there?
Right now, it'd be a 1-ton crew cab short box Duramax.
What if you don't like trucks?
Oh, no, but it doesn't matter. We're not going that. What happens if you don't like trucks versus cars? If that is the cream of the crop that we're basing everything on, can you compare a Honda Civic to that? Or a Ford Ranger, since we're going in the truck market? Can you put a Ford Ranger up against a 1-ton Chevy Duramax diesel pickup?
Not really. You can't. The comparison has to change. Now, let me just explain my testing method, mod versus mod. Price plays in big time for me.
Okay.
But why I put the Poldiak at number 10? The most important thing for me, the absolute most important thing for a mod, is that it hits hard. I'm a low-ohm vapor, and I want it to hit hard. The Poldiak exponentially hits harder than anything else made.
Okay, now that's based on voltage drop. Is that correct? Is there a direct correlation between voltage loss and hit?
Yes.
Okay, so if we were to do true side-by-side comparisons, you would have to fire under load and see the voltage drop on Poldiak, and that's considered the best. And then deduct points on the Nemesis or the Nemesis clone based on how it tests against whatever you're comparing it against to. Then you go to engineering.
Right, and that's what I do.
Right, yeah.
That's it, and KP has a great point. There needs to be categories.
Agreed. So,
Yep.
okay,
Fit, finish,
I'm not arguing that my
function, price.
Smokeater 1 to 10 system is out the fucking window.
So next week, G Money and I will come up with some sort of rating system with the help of Corey, who already has one in place. Uh-oh.
Down by everyone out there. But comparing a clone to a high-end mod, you can't do it. Price point, if you want a Nemesis, here's my rub. If you want a Nemesis and you don't want to drop $200 on it, you don't want to sit on a waiting list that you may or may not get a reply to, and that's a different gripe from me anyway, or you don't want to go out and search one on the interwebs and pay through the nose, get the clone, because you're getting pretty well identical to what you're getting if you spend the bucks.
See, but if
you're gonna fight voltage drop.
Maybe. I mean, here's what I'm gonna say, is that if we have our categories, voltage drop, price, feel, just general, and that's a subjective category. How's it feel in the hand? Weight.
Everyone's gonna.
You know what I mean? Switch engineering, switch position, threading. You know what I mean? Like all of that stuff. theoretically, I mean, you should...
Innovation
Innovation?
Playing on it as well.
Yep. Because personally, I am a ginormous fan of the innovation of how easy it is to switch batteries in and out of the NEMI devices, whether it be a clone or an original. The fact that I put an atomizer in, I adjust it to whatever I want, and I never have to take my top cap off, regardless of what battery, nipple, no nipple, a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, AW, EFES, whatever. I just twist that fucking bottom switch another quarter turn, and it's good to go.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this out here, but Dave thinks the NEMI hits harder than a Poldiak.
No. Okay, here, you know what? I'm using a battery that has been reduced in voltage. So I'll get out my voltmeter, I'll test the battery, and I will do a side-by-side on my dripper. We'll do everything all pretty, and I'm going to keep dropping my mouse. Okay.
Science is fun. I like science. The controlled variable.
Alright, so, on this battery... Holy shit, my fucking charger's pooched. I'm at 4.5 volts on this battery.
What?
Yeah. We need a new charger. It like overcharges batteries. I don't know how.
Fuck, now I'm wrecking the house.
Let the battery sit for 15 minutes and then see what it's at.
Science, bitches.
Oh shit. Buy a new charger.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna put the Poldiak back together now.
It's because he charges his fucking batteries over there at his desk on like a China charger.
No, I got rid of that charger. I've been using the one over by you.
Oh, have you?
Okay, so I have my iGo here, and it's the reason why I'm using the iGo, kids, is because it's simple just to take apart and get to the fucking business end of it.
And while you're getting set up there, I'll throw some numbers out here. I did a test in a hangout. Several people were there. I put the Pabst Lux, the Bear Brass, the Brass Chiyu, and a Brass Poldiak side by side with a 0.50 dual coil Jenny. I used the same battery. I started with the GP Pabst, and I went Pabst, Bear Brass, Chiyu, then Poldiak. Same atomizer, same battery. On a fresh charge, 4.2 volts, I dropped to 3.36 on the Lux, 3.69 on both the Bear Brass and the Brass Chiyu, and 3.99 volts on the Brass Poldiak. To me, 0.3 of a volt difference in between a Chiyu and the Poldiak, that is huge.
Core,
to be dropping 0.21 of a... Yep.
Are you keep saying brass Poldiak. Are not all Poldiaks brass underneath?
No, most of them are stainless.
Okay, so I just measured off device the ohms resistance on my iGo, and it's at 1 ohm. So, if I put it on my desk, and I do this on camera, but I'm doing it on the bottom shelf at this point. So, if I do this, put the fucking dealy-hoos on there. We know the battery's at 4.5 volts. On the Poldiak, 1 ohm coil, push the button. We get 4.1 volts. So we lost 0.4 of a volt.
On the
Poldiak. Take the authentic Nemesis. Put the 1 ohm on there, and I've got to use the same battery that's in the Poldiak, so I got to take the battery out. Sorry for the delay, kids, but there's a lot of threads.
Your face is a lot of threads.
Bite me. The words of Bender, bite my shiny metal ass.
That's old.
Okay, so we got the same 4.5 volt battery in there. We lost 0.4 of a volt in the Poldiak. We, on the authentic Nemesis, At 4.5, we dropped to 3.8.
Which sounds about right.
So that's a 0.6 of a drop.
We're looking at 0.3 of a volt difference in between the two.
Now let's put it on the Nemi clone. Nemi clone. Change the battery out here.
And just so everybody that isn't paying attention to chat knows, during the show tonight, CEV is selling the 134 for $130. And I do believe that is probably the lowest price you're going to find anywhere on the 134.
While I'm changing batteries, Corey, what's that charger you have, or Kreegz, with the digital display?
The X-Tar...
I have...
VP1?
VP1.
Okay.
Only place I know in Canada that sells them is JR.
Okay. Well, hit up switcher. Okay. On the clone Nemi. Gotta find my leads here. They're all wrapped up in me. Okay. On the clone Nemi. Guess it would help if it would fire. I just gotta adjust the pin.
It depends on your charger, Swill. Different chargers charge at different speeds. Like those night cores take forever, from what I understand.
They're slow, but they're really a solid design. The night core is a slow charger, but it's a really good charger. Like I run a night core at work, and I'm super happy with its performance. It's just not fast like a 2-amp charger is.
But doesn't a 2-amp charger drain your batteries faster, or at least kill the cycles on them?
Oh, you guys!
It kills the cycles. If you're charging fast, you're killing the cycles. When I have time, I charge on a 0.25 amp per channel when I've got the time to do it. When I'm in a rush, I ramp my charger up because I've got the SP2 as well, which does 2 amps per circuit. I've got the Nightcore i2, I've got the VP1, I've got the SP2, and I've got WP6. So I charge as I need to, when I need to.
I said change your battery, not charge your battery. Are you seriously sitting there trying to change a battery?
No, the clone of Nemi's misfiring.
Oh.
Oh, I get your joke now, Swill. See, here I thought you were trying to add content, but no, you're just making fun of your son-in-law. Got it.
Wouldn't be a night out if it wasn't. Oh my god, why is this doing this to me? Oh, that's something there.
Now, that is going to be relative, Tattooed One. If you need to use 18350s, you're going to have to go to a WP series. If you do not need to charge 18350s or 16340s at all, I would be buying the SP2.
What's the one on there?
The SP2 it won't charge the 350 series batteries.
I have the
Not
extra
without a spacer being put in. Good charger.
Speaking of which, there's a battery down.
Alright,
now there is another one out right now from eFast.
Holy
that's
shit.
digital as well. It's about half the price of the VP1, and I think it does everything, including restarting the battery, same as the VP1 does.
Vapor Dave just threw that into chat. The eFast Luke.
So, Let me be sure. What was the serial number on your Nemi? Kreegz?
2089, I think.
2920?
Maybe. What's the other one? The other one was lower. The clone's lower.
My clone Nemi is 1726.
Yeah.
The clone Nemi has less voltage drop than the real one.
Shut the front door.
Really?
The clone Nemi has 0.1 of a volt difference in the Polyak.
Wow.
Did you recheck your battery? Did your battery drop another volt?
I'll double check, but nope.
I would check. Yeah, I would check without an atomizer what voltage you're at.
If the battery dropped a volt, you would think the drop-off would be more serious, not less.
Yeah, but if it only dropped off, like, from 4.5 to 4.4...
Battery's still reading at 4.5.
On the mod?
No, in my hand. Battery in my hand, reading at 4.5 on the ohmmeter.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Meter. So 4.1, from 4.5 to 4.1 on the clone Nemi. 4.5 to 4.1, 4.5 to 4.0 on the clone Nemi, 4.5 to 4.1 on the Polyak, and on the real Nemi, 4.5 to 3.8.
Wow, that's crazy. You might want to clean the contacts on the real Nemi.
Yeah.
just saying. Get an eraser, man.
I mean, like I've always said, I am not against clones. I like clones. I like my clone Nemi. It's a great mod. But am I going to take the real Nemi in my work truck and bang it around and drop it and shit? No.
But you're a mod snob. That's why you have real mods.
Sure, I am, and I admit it. I like my authentic mods. I do. But I don't dislike clones.
Mom says clones rock and they are cheap.
Sure, I'll agree with that. They rock. I'm pleasantly surprised at the voltage drop on the clone.
You know what? You know what gets rid of all of that problem? Put a kick in there. Done.
Get a DNA 20.
Get a DNA 20. You don't have any of that problem.
But what good does a DNA 20 do when you vape at 32 watts?
Or 26.4.
Where's Zippy? Is Zippy in here? That motherfucker's vaping at 58.6 watts right now.
There's
What the fuck is wrong with him?
0.3 ohm of a coil.
Crazy mofo.
On a 30 amp Sony.
That's ridiculous to me. I mean, whatever floats your boat, twirls your beanie, blows wind up your kilt, whatever. But ridiculous to me.
Crazy motherfucker.
Ridiculous. So, anyway, as I was getting to before I was interrupted, the clone, excellent. It still loses a little bit for me because I can't throw it up on Mod Trader next week and expect to get anything other than another clone for it. I can't put it up and get a DNA 20. I can't put it up and potentially get a Polyak for reference or a steam turbine or whatever.
But it will retain its purchased value.
Yep.
Absolutely it will. And it will grow more valuable sentimentally. Your forest is peeling away.
I was just looking at that actually.
What, Kreegz take off? What?
I love the K-Fun.
Exactly.
Say.
Exactly, personally. You cannot change trade a Ford Ranger for a Kenworth. If I want to go out and I want to trade for a Kenworth, I better have something of equal value. That's, yeah, and I have to say, that's where I have a sticking point, Kingpin. Make it look like the Nemesis, but for God's sake, you got on the Switch on the clone and Nemi. You still got the same emblems. You got
exact same engravings everywhere.
By Ottoman Axie or Mixani. You got the same logo on the bottom, the same logo on the side. The serial number is obviously one pulled out of a hat, and it still says Nemesis on it. But to me, that's blatant plagiarism. You know, a guy goes out there and he busts his ass making a mod, and a good mod, and somebody out there goes out and copies it. I have no issue with the copying, but I have an issue with putting on all of the same symbols and taking that guy's name.
Yeah, I have no problems with the clones, but the counterfeits, they're getting to me. I would like it so much more if all the emblems were not there. If the emblems, serial number, all that engraving wasn't there.
I concur 100%.
But you know, I mean, really, to be honest, if I hadn't been pining for the Nemi for a while, and hadn't already agreed that I wanted it, then I would probably sit here and go, you know what? I am just as happy with the clone Nemi as I am with the real one. And the $30 price tag, I can buy, what, 6 of them?
Now, for me, it's worked this way on pretty much everything. I end up with the real one before I end up with a clone thereof. And the clones are brought in more or less for reference, just to be able to talk about. They end up relegated to the bottom shelf of my desk very quickly, because I'm kind of a mod snob and I like using my fancy stuff. But you know, I used the excuse. The last bunch of clones I bought, I used the excuse that, you know, that for taking to work, so that I don't damage my good stuff. Yeah, I'm still carrying 2 Poldiaks and a Chiyu to work every day.
I was gonna say, you're still taking your good shit.
You see, and that's where I differ, Corey. I take my clones to work.
But we are in 2 different industries.
Yeah.
I'm not bouncing around in a truck. You know, if I go out to the farm, I'm not taking a Poldiak with me. I'm going to take a Chi clone.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a desk, so my mods at work stay on my desk.
Yeah, see, you're right. It's different. My desk drives down the road, and you know, and I'm in and out of that truck so much. I mean, there's countless times I've dumped a mod out of my my coveralls pocket, or dropped it out of my hand when I'm getting out of the truck. I kick the crap out of my PVs.
But with that, let's say you were still riding your desk in the office. You would take all your fancy mods to work every day.
Absolutely.
That'd be a different story.
I take whatever the fuck I want to work.
But that's the difference in our occupations, right?
You know, and all that said, my Pravari is always at work with me. Always. Because if anything else fails, my Pravari never will.
That's next on my list.
You know, and that's, to me, what the Pravari is for. You know, we talk about how tough the mechanicals are. I think the Pravari's every bit as tough as any of the mechanicals. Because it's proven itself to me that it can take the fall onto the concrete without even marking it. You know, it works. Every time I hit the button, it works. As long as there's a battery in it, that bitch will vape.
See, and I'm excited to do the comparison of the K-Fun and the Russian. You know, they're both the same, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Russian's a clone of the K-Fun built by the same guy.
Where did you get that?
I don't have any knowledge thereof. But I've heard that same thing. I just don't remember where.
Probably from Jeff.
No, I heard it, I think, from someone. It might have even been Jay. I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, I'm sorry. If someone out there knows, let me know.
That just sounds crazy to me.
Something.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but that just seems crazy to me.
It does seem crazy.
Okay, I was listening to kids. What's going on?
Talking about the
Other than your
Russian
children.
being made by Svemesto.
Yes. I've heard the same thing, that he made a cheaper version of his.
Well, what I got told, and I don't remember where it came from, and what the rumor mill I got fed is that he designed it, and it's made in China. Instead of him designing it and it being made in Germany like the K-Fun is,
Right.
he designed it and it's being produced in China. So you're not getting the German machine work.
Right.
You know, so the fit and finish may not be anywhere near as good as the K-Fun because, let's face it, China has nothing on Germany when it comes to precision work.
No.
And the whole thing could just be smoke and mirrors. Like, who knows?
Yep. And personal, that was my thoughts when I heard that. How brilliant is that? To make money even off of your clone.
But is it even fair to call it a clone because it's so close?
It is a clone because
There's
you
a
could call it
tornado.
you can call it a clone. Sorry, you can call it a clone just based on the fact that they copied the design elements of it. That's what makes it a clone. Price is irrelevant when it comes to a clone. Just a matter of someone taking someone else's design. I'm sorry, guys. I truly apologize. Getting in trouble everywhere.
Spectus says that it's a great way that they can thwart counterfeits, is make their own clone.
Well, it's not thwarting and counterfeiting. All he's doing is cloning it and giving it out for a lower
But
price.
if he is the one doing it, it's no longer a clone. It's just
That's
a
it.
value item. You know,
Yeah.
it's the, you know, we had the 3.1, then, you know, we had the light. Now this is the next value step.
Yep.
If it's not from him, then it's an expensive clone or an expensive copy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know where we sit on what it is.
Mm.
391's coming. Yeah, I'm excited to try it out. Regardless of what it may be, I'm still very excited to try it out.
I got two 3.1s, I've got one light, and I've got one 91 on the way. And currently, of the three I have, the light is my favorite. I'd be
love
very
the
willing
light.
to part with both my 3.1s and replace them with lights.
Or
Yeah.
just buy an extender and then make supersized K-Funs. 10 mils of juice in one K-Fun, buddy. It's awesome.
I have a 3.1. Zai has a light. I have a 91 coming, and I'm interested in getting more. I want to do the comparison of the K-Fun and the 91. I think the 91 has a lot of promise to it.
But I have to agree with Corey on the 3.1 still light. I love my light, and I'm not a huge fan of your 3.1.
Down for
Well,
Mod
I
Trader
think
on
the
Facebook.
3.1 just has stuff we don't need.
Yeah,
You know,
it's,
I don't need the fill port there. I don't need the air control. I want the air control wide open.
Yeah,
I've never
so do I.
used the fill port because everybody scared me away
Yep.
from using it.
but and for good reason though. They do. If you use that fill port, they seem to just start pouring juice out of them.
Yeah, I used the fill port on mine, and after a couple of weeks of constantly filling it, I was getting juice just pouring out of it.
It's a single point of failure that isn't repairable, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a permanent solution. You have to melt something in there.
And it seems to make it unnecessarily longer.
It seems to what? Who now?
That bottom ring? That
It
bottom ring?
makes it, yeah, unnecessarily bigger.
9% even.
What are you talking about, 9%?
It's 9% bigger.
No, I said unnecessarily.
Yes, it's the 3.1 is 9% larger than.
Oh, okay. He thought I was saying it's 9% larger.
No.
Yeah, KP says it is repairable. You put some solder in there.
That's right. But it's a permanent fix. It's not something you can fix and then order some parts for.
No, it's a workaround more so than a fix.
Yeah.
Because once you apply said fix, it no longer functions the way it did when you got it brand new. So
that's right. But honestly, now that since we've done that, I find it's a lot better of a machine now, just filling it through the top.
Do you still mine fucking floods like a motherfucker every time I fill it from the top?
Really?
No,
always.
Mine doesn't flood. Mine has issues with wicking because I'm running it sub-ohm and I hit the fire button constantly all day long. That mine just doesn't wick fast enough. I constantly have to puff, to dry hit it to get it to go.
It's because your juice is too thick.
Well, I don't know. You're mixing it.
It's because your juice
Don't
is probably
change
too
it, by
thick.
the way. Don't change it, by the way, or I'll have to cut you up so bad you'll think you'll.
Oh my God! When did this start? This whole cutting thing. This is. There's got to be a statute of limitations on cutting people.
Really?
Right around the time that we insulted his.
That's right.
1 to 10 scale.
That's right. That I admit was flawed.
It's totally flawed.
I'm a collector, so I guess I'm skewed in the debate of the clone versus the real thing. I would prefer if everything I had was legitimate.
Well, but that's the collector in you. That's not even the
right.
vapor in you, right? Like that's the collector. That's the I want to acquire. Because you're not even a trader. I mean, you do trade, but that's not like you're not a trader. Like I don't know, like myself. I'll get something, I'll use it. Okay, cool. I had it. I tried it. I'm gonna send it away now. You'll get something, and it's hard for it to leave. The house. Ever.
Yeah, I don't trade lightly.
No, you don't. You don't tread lightly, and you don't trade lightly. So as a collector, I can see... As a collector, I don't think the clones impact anything, except for maybe the availability of what you're actually after, because now, for someone who just wants a device for the engineering, or the hit, and if it's the case of the Nemesis, if the clone is hitting harder than the original, then if you're doing it from a vapor's perspective, then you want the clone. And then that frees up a spot on a list somewhere for a real one for a collector to get.
It's very true.
And then, I mean, we always come back to it, but the clones let the people who are vaping on a budget or don't have the budget to begin with to even possibly dream of having a Nemesis. Or, if the choice is a Nemesis or a clone and juice and because you can get so much, that $200 can go that much further.
Oh yeah.
That's the biggest win. But ditch the fucking...
Really, if I was to say...
Ditch the logos.
Yeah, exactly. Ditch the plagiarism. But if I was to say to somebody, if somebody came up to me and went, "Hey man, would you recommend me, buying the real deal or the clone?" And when finding out what their vaping is and everything else, then I would certainly say go for the clone. There's a lot more going for it. The real deal, yes, the real deal is the real deal. It's authentic. It's a collector's item for those who like to collect. It's authentic and all that stuff for us mod snobbers. But if you just want something to vape on and it's aesthetically pleasing, go for the clone.
You know what? Vapor Dave makes a really good point. Historically, all clones have fucking sucked donkey nuts. But suddenly H-Cigar and China figured out that, no, if we're going to do a clone and we don't want people to come back and buy the next clone we make, we need to up our game, and they did.
Well, I don't know. I think the Clone Wars are going to come to an end soon. I really do.
See, and I'm on the total opposite end of that.
They're never going to end, dude.
I don't think they're coming to an end. No.
I
don't think this is a flash in the pan.
I don't think it is. I think it's going to come to an end quick.
I think what's going to come
makes
to
a point. I mean,
go ahead.
Aspectus makes a point that eventually the innovators of the authentic pieces are going to come up with something that's going to put the cloners to bed.
Well, I think what's going to happen is we're not going to see large runs anymore from the manufacturers, from the modders. We're going to see a V1, 200 units, get on the list. They're made in 6 weeks and ship out. And then the next list is for V2. And the next list is for V3. It'll be different engravings each time, maybe a difference in tube. I think we're going to see the market get flooded with very slight changes of standardized mods. That's my take on what's going to happen.
Global copyright needs to exist, says Vapor Dave, and I agree, but it needs to exist for everything. Never mind the small little world that we live in as vapors. But that's really what's killing them, is that they have nothing to lean on. They can't go to a lawyer unless they have fucking shit tons of money to fight the Chinese.
And laws are different in both countries. So I mean, you may have a copyright here, but there it doesn't mean shit. I mean, one example is piracy. I mean, the piracy laws in the U.S. are what they are, and in Canada, theoretically it's not piracy until you're selling it for profit.
But I think we're going to see more innovation, and we're going to see more change, and we're going to see better materials coming into use. I think we're going to see more silver plating happening, and we'll see. I'm not a fan of lists. I hate getting on a list and then waiting and never knowing when that's going to come due. And all of a sudden, you've got, a deal presents itself, you jump on it, and all of a sudden, you get 3 emails from 3 different lists that are due right now. And I'm not a fan of that. And it's one of those things you want to stay, with getting the newest things out there, and not having to go the mod trader or vape auctions route and overpay. You got to take the risk of the list. And so, as long as Poldiacs keep getting produced, I guess that no matter what else happens, I'll still vape quite happily.
I'm in agreement with that. I like the Poldiac. I've got one. I'm excuse me. I'm really, really pleased with it. I've got the whole gambit of clones, and I'm happy with all of them. And then I got the authentic Nemi. Night, Tat.
Night, Tat. Oh, I gotta go back and read through chat. That's funny.
Ah, I am muted. Thank you. That's unfortunate. I was gonna say that.
And with the. Go ahead, Kreegz.
I was gonna say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the first generation of clones, which I call the Sigelis, back in the early spring or mid spring time frame there. Every single one of them need to be modified to some degree to make it work properly.
Yes.
Right? So then now you come to, summer / fall of 2013, and you have the next batch, the Chiyus, the Nemesis, and they're solid mods. Like, even though they're clones, they're really good fucking... they're really good knockoffs. Like, they took the time and did it right, unlike Sigeli, who just fucking, here's 800 mods that we managed to push through a machine, buy them. And we bought them. And we didn't buy them again.
I mean, Kingpin makes a good point on price, right? I mean, a machinist's time is worth money, too. And not just a machinist, but anybody who's going out there and making this, their time is worth money, right? So, asking a couple $100 for a mod that is built by hand by
there's
somebody,
the key right there. Say that sentence again.
A mod that is built by hand by somebody is well worth $200. To run it through a factory with robots making their gear and selling it for the same price is gross, but they're not. The cloners are selling it for really
no, but the original modders are outsourcing to China to get these fucking things done. There's rumors out there that the Chiyus that you're getting are coming off the same assembly line as the H-Cigar ones. So that argument has...
Everything is outsourced. Everything is sourced, though. I mean...
Right, no...
I realize that the argument has lost validity, but... I mean, if you're a modder making, mass-producing something, and I'm not saying the 200 and that's it, I'm done, or the 25 limited edition and I'm out. But when you're looking at something that has a serial number of 2,920, there's 2,989 more of them out there. Are you going to sit in your garage turning mods all day long, or are you going to go to work to feed your damn family?
See, that's the thing. Like that's the whole point. Is KP saying that the machinist time is worth something, but the machinist time is only worth something in the R&D part of it, unless he's hand turning them all by hand individually, right? And
okay. And can I get in here for a second?
Yeah, man.
I am a machinist and a CNC operator and a programmer. You want to hire me to do CAD drawings? We are looking at $180 to $250 an hour. To design something, the CAD drawings on something like a Chiyu, we are looking at probably 30 hours at the desk. So we are looking at an average price of $6,000 for just the CAD drawings. Then we have to do a proven sample, which is going to have to be hand turned. To hire a hand turner, if you are not doing it yourself, you are looking at about $140 an hour. Then, if you do not have your own CAD equipment after the design is proven, you are going to be hiring out to a shop at anywhere in between $140 and $250 an hour. Now, these shops can put out a pile of product in that time, but you are not going to get a bargain because you're only wanting 100 units or 200 units or 300 units because you're trying to finance this design off your own paycheck from doing something else to start out with.
Right.
You have to put in, you might have to put down 20,000 of your own dollars to be able to turn around the first $30,000 order. Now, there is a value in your time, your investment, your risk, and your intellectual property. Now, what happens when a corporation does this is they have the R&D budget. There's no risk for them. You know, for a company that's worth millions to invest 20 grand into a new product, that's a drop in the bucket. It's nothing. But for a private individual, that's a big chunk of change. It's a big risk, and there needs to be a return on that.
Right.
Now, what's happening with the cloning is they're not doing any of that innovation. They're not doing any of that initial risk, that initial investment. They're just copying the design.
Yes.
And, you know, for the most part, I'm cool with that until they started plagiarizing. As soon as they plagiarize, as someone in the industry, that bothers me. You know, you can copy my work. You can go out, if you've got the equipment, you can copy what I do. There's not a whole lot that I can do about it. But if you sign my name on it, well, now we've got problems. And that's my take on them. You know, we deal with this on an industrial level, you know, several times a year with different companies, you know, trying to copy innovations we make in our product. And, you know, some of the product we build is worth upwards of $200,000 a unit. And, you know, it doesn't cost that much for us to make it. But we need to keep the lights on, and we need to be able to pay our engineers to be able to get the next innovation out there, and we need to be able to upgrade our equipment. And, you know, the software that I use for building the programs for the laser is $50,000 a year. It costs us 50 grand a year just to have that software to be able to make that machine run. And that is what these guys are facing. There's huge costs that nobody... yeah, that's exactly it, Tiger. That's exactly it.
Yep, I completely agree.
And we can't compare the Doc Daves or the Switchers or the Mojos of the world to H-Cigar. It's not the same. It's not apples and apples. And that's what gets me when I hear people talk, well, there's not $200 of materials in there. No. But boy, did that guy have to lay out a pile of money for the equipment to be able to do that. You know, where's his payback? Because he can't produce 100,000 units. He can't market 100,000 units. He's got to get his investment back on 200 units or 300 units or 500 units. It's just not the same game.
True dat.
And my rant is done. I had to step in as the person that does the machining and the programming and design.
But as far as outsourcing over there, I mean, the cost is nothing. And I mean, actually, you know, really, Kreegz, you and I and our wives got into the conversation last night. An artist sending his talent out there into the world leaves the artist on the hook because someone's going to take it and is going to make it. So now by outsourcing, let's say Faceless or whomever, the modder in North America or Europe, outsources their building to China, they now have the design. It's nothing for them to take it and make their own.
That is part of the rumor
see,
of what's happening.
And like with what Tiger's put in there, she's totally right with that. Her first loyalty is not to a modder she doesn't know. Nope. It's to her budget and her groceries and her son. You know, that's a reality.
I agree.
And it's a reality that each person has to make the choice. I just wish they would take the signatures and the emblems off the devices, and then we could go on to a different subject, because if they took them off, we wouldn't be talking about this.
No, yeah. Aspectus, they're doing more than just meeting demand. They're also filling the gap for those that can't afford the high end stuff. So it's kind of it's still demand, but it's different demand. It actually increases demand because now, Single Mom Tiger can get into the high end design game because it's within her vape budget. I don't think we're suggesting buyer ignorance at all. I think it's filling a hole and then some. It's actually making the hole bigger and then filling it. And you know what? I can almost guarantee that Doc Dave and all his Doc Dave followers, and Mojo and all the Mojo followers, and Zen and all the Zen followers are still gonna go to their guys and get their stuff. When when Modder XYZ releases Atomizer ABC, he's still gonna have a lineup of people hitting F5 to get that device. I don't see how it can hurt the modder directly in that regard, because it's such a niche and such a tight knit community, not necessarily tight knit. Let me rephrase that. Such a small community, and everyone is aware of everyone that's in the game at that level, and there's a whole schwack of people. Look, was it 15,000 members on Vape Auction?
Yep.
Something like that. Like, there's 15,000 people that are still going to buy the originals. Down the site to resell or trade mods.
Mod Trader.
Mod Trader on Facebook. It's a group on Facebook called Mod Trader. There's also a Canadian one.
And for me, it comes down to the direct plagiarism.
Yes.
That's my thing. I don't like that at all. If you're gonna do it, but make it your own.
Not even make it your own.
I buy all the clones. I buy all the clones. I buy all the real ones. At the end of the day, if you have a choice in between, groceries or the next mod, buy the bloody groceries.
Yeah.
You want to play with a mechanical, buy what you can afford. Pay for what you can, what doesn't hurt. And it is what it is. But don't put the bloody signature on it. Don't put the emblem on it. Just because China doesn't recognize world copyrights or patents doesn't mean that their vendors shouldn't have a little bit of ethics. They're manufacturers. They are not breaking any laws in their country by what they're doing. And the whole thing gets confuzzled.
I'm gonna add one more layer on top of the blatant ripoff. It also confuses the post-sale marketplace, which is very much alive in the vaping community. Right now, if you're copying all the markings right down to the very last detail, an uninformed person could spend $200 on a $30 mod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
That's
sad.
Because I could, if I was a dishonest person, I could really easily throw up the Clone Enemy on Mod Trader and trade it for a Poldiak, and no one's going to be the wiser until the Clone Enemy shows up at the door of the guy who traded for it, and if he knows his shit, he's going to know it's a Clone Enemy, and he's going to get burned. And I'm sure there's someone out there that's already done it, because if I've thought of it, 30,000 other people have thought of it.
And without even going onto Facebook and doing the trades, just, some guy running a shady vape store in the back alley of fucking buttfuck, Scalberta.
That's it.
Is bringing in a whole bunch of clones and calling them Nemesises, putting them up for $200, and having unsuspectable people walking into the store and saying, okay, here's my $200.
And you know what? That happened to me at the Crossroads Market in Calgary. I went to go and see this guy, and thank goodness for all of you good people, because I was informed. But if I wasn't, I would have been screwed, because the guy told me that at that point in time I was vaping on Vivi Novas and my e-Vic. He told me my e-Vic was a knockoff. and it came straight from Zaichick. It was not a knockoff, but he told me it was a knockoff and his was the real one, and he was charging like $200 and some odd for it. And my Vivinovas were knockoffs and they weren't real, but his were real. But I knew better, but I just felt so bad for the people that come in that don't know any better.
Yep. Very, very true.
And those were the vendors that the Destroyer was built for, because I'd like to meet them and then hit them over the head with the fucking Destroyer. Yep. There's a slime ball born every minute. There really is.
It's called capitalism, buddy.
It's called thievery.
Yeah,
It
but
is.
it's the heart of capitalism, right? Furthermore, it's capitalism in
the person.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the person who has the authentic Nemesis number 1726 just got, a kick to the teeth, because now I have the clone of his mod, and if I was dishonest and I was a dick, I could go out and put it out there on the market and say, hey, look at this, I got number 1757, and at that point it becomes my word against his.
Yep. I mean, it's capitalism in an unregulated industry.
Yeah.
Right? You have nowhere to go. You know what? You buy something, tough titties, man. Sucks to be you. Caveat emptor, all that stuff. I mean, it's never been more true than right now.
Yep. You've got nothing to fall back on.
And like Tiger and Dave said, deal with people you know. And thankfully, we have a pretty awesome... hold on. No, the numbers are different. My Nemi clone is $15.99.
Yeah, they've got like series of numbers. It's not all the same clone number. It's a series of cloned numbers.
On the Chi clones, my stainless one is all 8s. It's 8888 for the serial number. My brass Chi clone is 1852.
Oh, so, Core, I can speak to that too. My Chi clone from Fast Tech is all 8s. My Chi clone off a guy from Facebook is 4079.
Yeah, see that.
And see, these are both from Fast Tech. They were ordered the same day. They came, 2 weeks apart, but they were bought the same day.
Right.
I don't like the plagiarism. I don't.
I think the 888s.
I want people to be able to afford their vape. Go ahead, buddy.
I think the 888s are the tobacco ones, and then the ones that are serialized are the H cigars. That's what I think. They're both almost fucking identical from when I was looking at them side by side.
I've got them side by side. The only difference in mine is one is stainless and one's brass.
Your brass
and
ones.
then the serial numbers.
Oh, really? Okay, never mind. I take that back. I have no idea then. I thought you were comparing it to
They both
your
have adjustable center pins.
Now here's something to pose to this as well. It has been said, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but it has been said that Fast Tech is the liquidation world too. If the modder has a run that he's not happy with or can't move, Fast Tech buys it up, sells it at a reduced cost, and I very well could have a real Nemi in the clone of Nemi. I don't think that's the case. I think it is a blatant ripoff.
I don't think that is the case, because the brass is different from my 2 real brass Chi-Yus to my clone brass Chi-Yu, and the lock ring and air control ring are quite a bit different in material makeup than on the clone. The clone is just not the same quality of product. Even if it works the same, the parts in it are not as good.
Mm-hmm. And then that
so
brings us back to the whole, there's 1,000 ways to make a cake, but it doesn't always taste the same.
That's right.
Right. And at the end of the day, I want them to be a little different. You know, I don't begrudge anybody the vape they can afford. Period.
Nope.
You know, if you love the look or the function of the chi and you can't afford it, well, you know, an unmarked clone, what would give you that affordability? You're not taking up a space that somebody can afford it and really wants it. You know, I get that. But it's that bloody forgery that lowers the value of my real ones that bothers me. Or now if I go to sell my real one,
you're going to be
I have to be able to prove authenticity. Yeah. Well, how do you prove authenticity of something you bought online?
Yep.
You know, it's all about trust. It's all about, you know, perceived value and trust. And that trust has been broken by the direct plagiarism.
I wouldn't say the trust has been broken. I say that trust has been reinforced. To know that you're dealing with a reputable vendor who is a authorized reseller of, you know, like Eon Vapes, right? Like they, you know, we trust Dredd because he's been doing this for so long.
But Dredd has been vouched for. I mean, if you know, Joe Blow from down the street got into this game, is he going to be looked at the same way? Absolutely not.
I'm with you on that one, Tiger. I'd say fuck you, shove your shit up your ass, and I'll go and get it somewhere else.
I've dealt with amazing vendors. I've dealt with shitty vendors. I've dealt with rip-off artists. I've dealt with outfits that bend over backwards to help. Size of the vendor means nothing.
Nope.
You know, I've had some of the best transactions ever with huge vendors. I've had some horrible nightmare experiences with big vendors.
Yep.
I've had some great experiences with upstarts. I've had some horrible experiences with upstarts.
It's all about the people.
Yep, that's it. It's got nothing to do with size or profitability. It's all about the guy who's pulling the strings, who has control.
That's it.
And their ethics.
Because you can have a giant company that is out to get everybody, is out to screw everyone. The size matters zero. But yeah, as to that one, I tell them to shove their shit up their ass and you'll go elsewhere to get your product. That's just my opinion on it. I mean, there's enough places and enough options that if someone is an asshole, you can just move on to the next one and find what you need and get the backing you're looking for.
And I don't have a right to tell anybody else how they should be vaping. Nobody else has a right to tell me how I should be vaping.
Exactly.
You know, I use this to quit smoking. They use this to quit smoking. If we do it different ways, oh well.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd rather the cloners get my money than tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Fucking rights.
The thing that really, when it comes down to clones, if you can afford a $30 clone, buy it. Because it's going to make you happy. If you can afford a $200 mod, and it's not going to affect your, you know, your lifestyle and your family, buy it. Because you're going to be happy. Vape to where you're happy. Vape to your budget.
Do what works. Stick with what works for you. If it works for you, then it works for you. And that's really, honestly, we've been saying since the beginning, all that matters. As long as you're not on the stinkies, who cares how you're doing it? Yes, we have cloning people in the show tonight. Jeez.
But how do we know Vapor Dave was the first one? And
That's it. What the hell did you just do?
Yeah, but
but
Vapor Dave is a serious pudding head, so he's good people.
So what does that make me?
Good people.
But me, I suck?
Well, you're not
I'm
really
not
a
a pudding
pudding.
head?
You don't like pudding. You can't really be trusted.
Fuckers.
Now, for reference point, I
I'm
do
gonna
have to
rage
say
quit.
that it's your husband that said that, not me.
You're worse than me, I promise.
Did you guys read about Australia?
No.
There's what about Australia?
There's rumblings that they're doing
Did you
studies
read
to
about it?
try and outlaw tobacco in favor of e-cigarettes.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
that is epic news.
Right? They might be the first
Especially
country.
seeing it's coming from Australia, which has been one of the most communist countries when it came to e-cigs.
Well, they're opening their minds at least with the possibility of outlawing tobacco. You want to smoke?
That
Vape.
is epic.
But I think Australia has also been in the last 25 years a leading country in things like that. You know, they'll take their time to. They may say something rash out of the gate, but they'll take their time and come back and go, you know what, we were wrong. This might be a better way then.
Like the New Zealand government was the first government to publicly endorse e-cigs.
And I think Australia's seeing that the benefits and the positivity Australia's seeing the benefits and the positivity from New Zealand and following suit. And if Australia follows suit, then soon after the UK will follow suit, soon after Canada will follow suit, because really if one Commonwealth country does it, the rest follow.
If one
That would be amazing.
if one Commonwealth country does it successfully,
Yes.
that's the key.
Where are you reading this? Is there a link or did you
It
hear
was all
about
over
it, or-
Facebook.
Oh, okay. I must. have
That's where I
missed
saw it. So we're down to 25
that.
minutes-ish.
Totally fucked up my head. Is that?
Cats destroying the kitchen.
Well, they're hopping around like bunnies in here.
They found a marker.
Shaky pudding is more flavorful, Dave. It's got a spice note to it. It's a deeper, richer, sharper flavor than VP.
It's closer to Grant's than Vader is.
You know, VP has no sharpness to it. Shaky has a sharpness.
VP is the silk underpants of the world.
Caramel Sunday's
Oh,
really
Super
good.
Dave, you will be so happy with Caramel Sunday. That shit is awesome.
Caramel Sunday's fantastic. I burned through that very quickly.
It's a mellower vape. Caramel Sunday's mellower vape. It's a feel good after a meal. Put a smile on your face.
Fuck, after the meal, puts a smile on my face first thing in the morning, too.
Are we talking about Caramel Sundays or blowjobs?
Ah.
Either or.
I'm sorry. I got confused there for a second.
Caramel Sunday with my morning coffee is absolutely awesome.
But there is nothing like waking up with a Caribbean hangover and hitting VP.
I will tell you what does suck. Grabbing a mod expecting to get VP and getting fluid instead.
Have all of y'all gone to sleep, or what's going on here? You just had enough fighting?
Well, my rating system was shot all to hell, and I had to fight for my credibility.
Not your credibility. I corrected myself on that one.
Oh fuck, Dave!
Hey,
You should have hit me up.
I have a question, Corey.
You don't know where babies come from by now. Something's wrong with you.
Shut up. The top cap for the Provari, I believe it's called the Hippo, the flat cap. Is that something that you can just like readily buy, or?
No. The guy who made them passed away.
Yeah, he was killed in a motorcycle accident.
But no one else.
It's not overly hard. No, it's not overly hard to get these. These are a beauty ring for the Provari.
Oh, okay.
These aren't that hard to get. But the Hippo, the Hippo is hard to get.
Okay.
I stumbled across one on Mod Trader. A Hippo.
Yeah, you stumble across the Hippos and Twins, and like they're not going for stupid money, but they're going for enough.
Yeah, for what they are, for sure. But I mean, I honestly can't. The difference between a Hippo and a beauty ring is fucking enormous.
Well, yeah, the Hippo is air control.
Well, it's air control, but it's also, I mean, just the fact that it screws in to the 510 connector, so that when you take your atomizer off, your beauty ring doesn't fall off.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, I'm not saying it's not worth. Like, I bought it, quite willingly and was quite happy with it. It is what it is. Would I recommend it when somebody's gonna have to go searching the forums to be able to get one? No. I'm just gonna tell them to get a.
Okay.
Thanks, Sevrock, Sabby.
Thanks, Sabby.
There you go. Joe Pym has just put the Vape Rev link in for the cone, for the beauty ring.
Oh! I'm not gonna take a peek at it. Oh, but not in my shrinking window. So will that make it flush, like if I were to put a K-phone on top of a Provari?
There'll be a gap.
No? But will it make it like the same size at least?
Yeah. Yes. Here, I'll show you. Hold on.
I can't see you.
Oh, well, do you have the screen up to show up?
I could have. Okay, go.
K-Fun light on a Provari with a... See the gap there? But it does, streamline it as far as width goes. Because if I take off the Hippo, then because it has that stupid taper, right? And then
so there is K-Fun light with beauty ring on Provari.
Okay.
Right. Oh, look, it's flush with the... Why is mine not flush?
It's all about the adjustment of your center pin. Adjust the center pin on the K-Fun.
Oh, I'm not touching that fucking thing, because then that starts fucking with the wick in there. I've done that before and shorted the fuck out of my atomizer, man.
Yeah, it's all about that center pin adjustment. You can make it sit flush.
Oh, okay.
But you have to do it at build time.
I didn't adjust anything. Yeah, you do. For sure you do.
At build.
But like, I just took it off my Lux and put it on here. I didn't know it was going to line up as well as it did, but it is what it is.
Right.
Now this one's far too low res to fire on my Provari, but it looks good on it.
That's the problem. That's my problem with the Provari, is that you do have to wrap to 1.2, 1.3 in order for it to use it on a Provari.
But I mean,
And really, you're
that's
better
no
wrapping
problem.
to like 1.5 or 1.7.
Yeah.
That's no
Provari, give
problem
yourself
for me.
room in case you have coils touch.
Okay.
Provari's a great unit, but it's not a low res unit.
Nope.
So it is what it is.
See, but I don't
Which
vape
which
low
is why they need to make a Provari 2 with a DNA 20 in it. Just saying. if anyone from
I'm
Pro
down with
Vapes in
that.
the room, I'm just saying. I'm waiting for my Provari X or whatever the hell they want to call it.
That would be awesome.
Daniel, how do you
Why
get
would
your
it
stuff
so
fired
funny?
down to 0.8? That's interesting to me, because I've never had one fire. I've had 1.1 fire once in a while.
I pushed the button.
Thanks.
It's a 2.5,
Interesting.
he said.
What's coming? The Provari X with a DNA 20 chip in it?
Oh, I'm on that bandwagon.
If that is
That
true,
is
Sabby, you make
Me,
sure.
Fat kid on a Smartie.
Okay, you keep me on the fucking
Oh, yeah.
it's coming list.
Yeah, me too. I'll be all over that, like Oprah on a baked ham.
Yeah, I get E1s all the time, constantly on my Provari.
Really?
Hmm
I run a Pro Tank with my Provari, so it works flawlessly.
You know what's cool? I run my 0.7 ohm on my Poliac, and I don't get any warnings or errors or anything like that.
You also get a vape
So
that
I'm running
changes as you vape.
0.5.
Just saying.
I love
I'm
mine.
running
Just saying.
0.5 on my Lux, and I'm getting no change at all.
Yeah.
It just vapes.
Just
No
saying.
lights. You don't want to bother me.
No lights to bother me, because the Provari light bothers you so much, Corey.
It does. That's why I have it turned off.
I'm just a really big fan of regulated power.
That's it. I vape my mechanicals and I vape my variable voltage, variable wattage, and I love
there's
them
a-
both.
You know, there's a place for both of them. You know, there really is. There's a marketplace and a need for both regulated and unregulated, adjustable and non-adjustable power. And it comes back to there's no right or wrong way to vape. You know, if you're not smoking, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Now, if you're vaping a 0.5 ohm coil on stacked batteries, I'm going to tell you you're doing it wrong. Because you're going to become a statistic. At
Yeah.
one point in time or another, you're going to become a statistic. Either you're going to nick yourself out to a serious degree, or you're going to blow something up in your face, because nothing's made to do that anymore. Well, batteries have never been made to do that, but as long as a person's being safe, you're right.
If
Oh,
they make
just
DNA
wait,
30, I'd
Vapor Dave.
celebrate.
It'll come. It'll come.
It's coming.
I mean, Evolve went from, what was the Darwin? 10?
The Darwin was 13.7. I believe.
13.7 watts, and then they went to 15 with the kick, then 20 with the DNA, 10 with the kick.
Started
Right.
10 with the kick, and then 15. Now they're coming 20 from everything we're hearing.
Yep. The kick
DNA
3.
12, then the DNA 20.
There'll be a DNA 30. It'll come.
Okay, so as soon as the DNA 30 drops, everyone needs to hit up Vapor Dave because he's selling everything.
You see, and that's where I'm blessed. Where I'm a big fan of my 15 watt vape, 16 watt vape. I'm very happy right around there. So a DNA 20 or a Kick 2 works just gives me that steady, constant vape from fresh battery until it's dead. Charge it up, and
that
there's
is-
and I'm not doing math when I'm building my coils. I build it till I think it looks pretty enough, and I'm done. I don't need to worry about what
gauge. You only do the math once.
Yeah, but
you gotta
fact that your vape trails off is what bugs me about mechanicals.
You're not doing the math once because you're doing the math for if you're doing 28 gauge or 30 gauge, blah 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 blah, and then you're talking about the volt.
That really only plays in if you're worried about, you're vaping 0.8, now you want to try 0.6. I just built them.
Yeah.
I've built enough of them that I just built them. I don't even think about it unless I'm doing it on a show and I want to, put a solid guess out.
Right.
I know that 4 wraps on a quad wick 1 mil silica build, 4 wraps, 26 gauge, I'm happy. If I'm going to dual coil it, I do 6 wraps. And that's where I know that my happy place is. That's going to come in dependent on how tight I pull it in between 0.5 and 0.6.
See, 2 mil silica with my ribbon wire. I don't know what the measurements are. I'm not going to dig it out and look. 2 mil silica with my ribbon wire, 3/2 wraps. I makes a perfect 0.7 ohm coil.
I'm with you, Zai.
I love how you fit that in there. Zai builds a perfect coil.
Absolutely perfect.
I'm on Team Zai as far as for the drop off. I don't want to drop off.
Yeah,
I want start to
like
finish
that.
same vape. And like I said, I'm lucky enough.
I get start to finish same vape. Because
Right.
as soon as the battery drops off, I change it.
Right, but see, whereas I get a lot more battery life out of mine because it's regulating it. But like I said, this all goes back to my very first statement. I'm blessed where I'm happy with a 15-watt vape. Right? I never got addicted to the sub-ohm high wattage vaping.
When I got my Vamo, I cranked her up to 15 watts. First thing I did was crank her up to 15 watts and started vaping. And I was, okay, it's all right. I'm happy with it. And then I got my first mechanical. I wrapped my AGAT at 0.8 ohms. And same juice, and oh my god, it was a different world. Different world.
See that question there, Core?
Yeah, and it's a tricky one. Like, the lower the internal resistance, the better it's going to hit in that range. And as stupid as this is going to sound, the AW 18650 1600 mAh will stay in that range longer and hit better than the 2000 mAh 18650 AW will.
Wow.
It has a lower internal resistance. Then you step up into batteries like the e-moly. The e-moly battery will stay in that range far longer, but it's a 26 millimeter cell. Any of the high amperage batteries will stay in that top cycle longer, even though they're a lower mAh value. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's just tested experience.
I'll take your word on batteries, man.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever have a battery question, Corey!
You and Struckus. You're my go-to battery guys.
Yeah, the MMKE is in that list of batteries that'll stay up better. It's a lower internal resistance, higher amperage battery. The Sonys, the 30 amp Sonys, they stay in that nice range a long time. If you let them drop to 3.7, they go from 3.7 to 3 almost instantaneously.
Wow.
Like, you'll be vaping, no vapor. It's literally that fast.
Wow.
And so
I noticed Panasonic will do similar to that. You'll be vaping. You'll notice it'll start to get a little anemic and light, and then your next vape is off. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the EFES in my mechs, but I love the panties. The panties work.
I love panties.
Now,
panties. I'm sorry.
They don't work as well as the Sonys do, but they're a readily available, high quality, low price battery. Now there is a new eFast battery available. 30 or 40 amps, 30 amp. It's a 20C, so 30 amp. 1600 mAh available. Under that $10 mark. I believe 101 Vapes is the only place to have them right now. And yeah, I'll take the panty over the AW every day of the week, Dave. But here's the thing: the AW is just a rewrapped panty cell, anyways. AW just stands for Andrew Wong, the guy that owns the company.
Yeah.
They're Panasonic batteries that have been rewrapped and gone through one more quality assurance check.
Yep, Mod Envy's let out. We got some foreigners entering Vape Night in Canada. Welcome. Tiger and Joe will be here in about 6 minutes.
Yes. Night, Dawn.
Night, Dawn.
And, yeah.
Hello and goodbye. Oh, I was just reading chat there. I kind of wish the show came on at a different time. I like it.
Well,
we're
thank
here
you.
every Saturday night.
Night, Dave.
Night, Dave. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Night, night.
Hey, Dave.
Let the late night invasion begin.
Hey, Tiger. Anytime. Thanks for the compliment. Hey, Krieger.
Yes.
You're playing a lot of Metallica tonight? Is that a?
No.
Is there a reason behind
no,
that?
it's totally just the playlist, buddy.
Coincidental.
Yeah, it's the world. It's the world telling us that we need to go have our mandate and see a Metallica movie tomorrow.
I believe so.
You can actually read chat now. Yeah, it doesn't go as fast over here. No, we don't have the 300 viewers flooding.
300? That's a slow night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we don't have all of them over here. Flooding chat real quick. $800-ish. Holy monkeys.
Oh yeah, they went back to Vaughn chat, didn't they?
Yes, they get no slow chat.
Right.
Oh, wow.
People like free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's one thing our friend Joe Vapor knows, it's how to pimp a show or pimp anything. So word gets out that his show's
True.
around.
It's true. I do
Chat
enjoy our show,
successful, Vape in Vegas.
though. Alrighty, well, I'm going to say thank you to all of our viewers for coming out. Had an awesome time. Thanks for coming. And keep your feelers up out there. Make sure you don't miss out on anything. Love you lots.
So I gotta say that I still stand by the Smokeater 1 to 10 scale.
Oh,
Fuck all y'all.
jeez.
Fuck all y'all. and yeah.
And
Thank.
I got nothing. I was
I
defending
got
my
nothing.
honor.
Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. And love you all. Thanks again, and keep it real.
Tigers, how come you're not saying anything?
Who's not saying anything?
You're supposed to say your good
Is it?
nights.
Is it my good nights now?
Yes.
Did Corey say good
I
night
just figured
already?
You wanted the last word.
Oh, is it my?
Usually Kreegz is the one that takes.
Well,
one, huh?
okay. Here we
Well,
go.
then Corey hasn't said his good nights yet.
Say good night, brother.
I don't need to say goodnight. The night's not over. They've got Tiger and Joe now.
Okay.
They don't even
They
need
do,
to refresh.
yes.
They just carry on. Thank you, one and all, for being here.
Done deal.
And join us again next week for the launch of the
Interweb scavenger.
interwebs geocaching giveaway.
Tons and tons
And just
of
a
fun.
reminder, we're giving away not one, but 2 coffin mods, one red, one blue. We're giving away 140 mils of DSV Delight and 140 mils of DSV Sugar Cookie. And there's 100 mils of Major Vapes juice going along with them.
Bunch of juice, couple of mods for someone who's internet search savvy. Yeah, so thanks for coming out, everybody. On behalf of VapeStrong, Darkside Vapers, Zaichick, Smokeater, I'm Kreegz. Coming up next, Tiger and Joe with Done Deal for all you crazy Americans and Canadians. Vape in public, vape often, vape naked if that's your thing. But more importantly, make smart choices. We'll see you guys next week.
And Vape Strong.